All right, let's do it. Whoosh, we're on. Squeeze the Neck podcast. We're back at GB Top Team with, I was going to say my new mate, two new mates. We've got a weirdo on the wall too.
And the weirdo in the chair.
Weirdo in the chair, weirdo in the other chair. What do you want to do, kids? Kate Bacik, thank you very much for doing this. Did I say it right? I said it right out there, and I think I might have fucked it in here. I second guessed myself.
You still said it
still
right.
said it all right?
Probably better than me. So you're
very good. I'll take that. So I've got a feeling this is going to be a good one, kids, because we've been speaking about conspiracies, all sorts of mad shit before we've even started.
Don't cancel me.
Don't cancel me either, because listen, we're not making enough money yet, so let's get it.
Definitely
not. We're never making enough money, right? But before we start, I asked you previously, before even any of that, professional MMA fighter, guys, full-time fighter, ready to rock and roll. We're trying to feminise the channel up a bit. We haven't got enough women on. So.
How dare you assume my gender?
Well, there you go. That's what you get. Where do you think you are today, huh? That's what we're doing, huh? Anyways, so I asked you where you're from before, and you said, everywhere. So
yeah.
Let's go back to the beginning. Kate, tell us where you're from.
So, the very real answer is I'm an alien.
Okay.
So I'm not actually from any countries on Earth.
Brilliant. Mars, Venus, where are we talking here?
Penis.
Oh, cool. Ask for that one, right? Very good. I like that. Very good.
No, but like I was born in Poland, but don't try to chat Polish to me.
No? Do you not speak Polish?
I can understand everything, but like I believe I can speak Polish well, but Polish people don't believe that.
Well, cześć, jak się mesze, idę do siłowni, no?
Bardzo dobrze.
That's where I tap out. I can count. That's it.
I think I can speak Polish, but I also think I can speak any language on Earth and outside of Earth. So.
Japanese, go.
Sayonara.
Okay, all right, you done that. Pretty good. All right, very good. I don't know if that's Japanese. I would have gone konnichiwa to be safe, but what do I know?
Yeah, but I kind of like lived all over the world, so most of my life I probably spent in like South London.
Okay, one of us.
You know, I've lived a little bit in like Cyprus, Scotland as well.
All right, okay.
Yeah, like loads of places. So I like to think of myself as a very well. Actually, my friend said that I'm like an international gangbang, and I think that's the best way to.
There you go. I'll take that as well. That's pretty good. Sayonara international gangbang. That's cool. But is Bacik? I'm assuming the name's Polish.
It's actually not.
No, sorry. As soon as I said that, ski would be more Polish,
it's
right?
It's weird. I think so because they're all like. Or like I think the most popular one is like Novak or something.
Really?
I don't really know, but everyone is ski or ska.
So I know someone called Made, but that's spelt like Madej. So I don't know where that ties into the equation.
Yeah, my surname has always been weird because I've always been bullied for my surname, like growing up in Poland, and for other things too. Everyone always called me a fucking gypsy and all sorts of shit.
Why? Where's that come from?
Because I don't know, like I always look different. Like I didn't really look like standard Polish girl, I guess. So I got a lot of smoke from everyone, and also I didn't have a super Polish surname, so everyone was like, "Oh, you fucking gypsy."
Oh, is that right? Oh wow, okay.
So like since early days, I knew something's wrong. I'm probably not from here.
All right, I got you.
And then I don't know, like I did a little bit of research, me and my older brother at some point, and like it seems like our surname might be from like Czech.
Oh, okay.
But I don't fucking know.
No one knows. My sister did it.
I always say I'm Chinese Jamaican.
There you go. Somewhere in between anyway. Well,
Explains
my sister did
the
yeah, all right. You said that. Don't cancel the podcast, guys. But my sister did it. And apparently we got quite a heavy dose of Egyptian in us, which you wouldn't know from looking at me, right? I'm pale as this table, but that's what you get, apparently.
But how accurate does DNA tests are as well?
Well, my granddad on my mum's side was Cypriot, full blown, and like real dark skinned and all that stuff. So like, that's obviously where it comes from, right?
Yeah.
But, you wouldn't guess I was Egyptian by looking at me, right?
True. I really want to do one of them tests at some point. And, like, sometimes I think, like, fuck knows what they do with your DNA and all that. But then I remember when I was at uni, they literally came in at some point during the lecture and they were like, oh, if anyone wants to sell the DNA for, like, £2, you can buy free coffee. I was like, I want a coffee. Fuck it.
Yeah, I love a black Americano.
I did it. And you had to sign, like, a disclaimer that, like, you literally have no rights to what happens with it afterwards and I was just like, fucking uni student, I want a coffee, fuck it, sign.
Give me the coffee, yeah. Large black Americano.
And I don't know, maybe there's like a little clone fucking running around somewhere.
Maybe there's another little Kate Bacik who doesn't know where she's from running around somewhere.
Yeah. I hope she can fight. I'd love to fight myself, so if she's up for it.
Oh, you're one of them. We're definitely getting on conspiracies later, aren't we? Fucking hell, man. I might gloss over the fight career and just talk conspiracies. But obviously you said you were born in Poland, but you grew up everywhere. Where was you, when you say grew up everywhere, what age was you moving all over shop?
I grew up in Poland, mostly. And I think when I was like 13-ish, I went to Scotland for the first time, and from then on I kind of like split my time between the two.
Why? What was going on there?
So my brother moved there when I was 12, and then I kind of like want to get out, or like my living point wasn't great. And
Which
I
part
always
of Poland we talking?
South.
Okay.
Always south, unfortunately. And it's always the poorest part, isn't it?
Well,
The
hey,
most
listen,
fucked up.
in London, it's the right path for all you people north of the river.
Literally. But yeah, so I always kind of wanted to get out of it. And, you know, the closest opportunity, I was like, "Aight, I'm going." So from then on, I kind of like split my life. But I wanted to finish my college and stuff that I had there. So it wasn't until I was probably like 18-ish that I left for good.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's how it all started.
That's how we started, guys. From the penis, as she said.
Yes.
But like,
We all come from...
Hey. Kids watching. Yeah.
No, but except if you have two mums, then you... Wait.
We're opening a can of worms here. We are.
You still do, I
By
guess.
way of, yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Hey,
Life.
each his own, but you can
I was gonna say
identify
it's too early in the morning, then I realise it's like...
Well,
okay.
how dare you identify that the woman's
One.
not got a penis? How dare you? You're a disgusting human being. You should be ashamed of yourself. Hey, no. So tell us about martial arts. How did you get into martial arts? Was this a Poland thing, or was this as you started becoming Scottish Renaissance?
So when I was little, I was a little shit, and I
we all were.
used to love fighting. Like I'd fight everyone and anyone over anything and everything, and I used to hang out with boys a lot. Fuck knows for what reason.
To fight, or just
Just
they
in
were your
general,
friends? Yeah.
like for some reason, like I wasn't really into like playing with dolls and shit. Like I wanted to build like weird shit and like smash shit and fight. So I kind of gravitated towards that. But obviously, boys will be boys, so that they would always fight, and I'd be like, "Fuck it, you wanna fight? Let's fight." And I say, if there's like, you know, any of my friends had any issues or whatever, I'd always step in, like try to be a hero.
Oh, that girl. Use that aggro girl that turned up.
And if there was any trouble, I'd find myself in the middle of that. So it was just kind of like a recurring pattern. And then, you know, I ended up like hanging out with people I shouldn't have been hanging out. Like they were like 10 to 20 years to 50 years older than me, and like always some weird situations. And when I was a bit older, like maybe from 12 to 14, something like that, started going like football matches and just like body up, hoodie up, and just go and fight. Because people like meet up somewhere in the middle of nowhere and just fucking go like 40 people against 40
you was that
people,
aggro girl
goes.
that showed up and wanted to fight people. But how did it start?
I just really liked fighting.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, where's it come from? Because you're obviously feminine to look at. You look feminine, but like, you know what I'm saying. Like some girls turn up and they got like a shaved head and tattoo on their face, and they got.
I
like...
wasn't a lesbian. I was just aggressive.
All right,
so.
cool. I got you. Well, we cleared that one up.
But no, I don't actually know where that came from.
Yeah.
It was just like a natural thing for me. And like it was entertaining. I'm not saying I was good at it at all, but like I liked watching other people fight and I liked being in it. Like it was fun. Like I had nothing to do. Like, I didn't want to be at home. Like there was always some bullshit going on at home. I wanted to be outside, like doing things.
I got you.
So it was always crimes and fights.
Common story on this podcast.
It wasn't until like I was 17, and by that time it's been already like years of me just drinking, doing drugs, like getting arrested, like doing fuckery basically, like nothing good at all. And then one of my friends was like, "You're pretty good at fighting, you like it. How about you come to my gym?" And like he did like Muay Thai, and there was a few of my other friends that trained the same gym. I was like, you know, fuck it, I'll do it.
Where is this? Are we talking over here
that
now?
That was still in Poland.
Oh, okay.
I was still in Poland. I was like 17-ish. And I remember I turned up like super hungover, like on calm down, like smoked the fucking cigarette outside of the gym, like, yeah, fuck it, let's do it.
Brilliant, yeah.
I got my fucking ass handed to me so bad. All them like Polish man, them on juice, just going like, ugh. They don't care if you're like a kid, woman, disabled, you're getting it still. So
wow.
I got fucking beaten up so bad. And then for some reason, like the psycho in me was like, I need to come back and do better. Like I need to fucking get my like comeback. So I kept coming back and like still getting whooped. But within 3 months, I got a fight, and that was a bad idea. Like I had no fucking.
What fight are we
I was
talking about?
doing.
Muay Thai fight?
Muay Thai. And in Poland, there's no such thing as like, there's no difference in rules, because here you've got class, you've got N class.
C class.
Yeah, exactly, and so on and so forth. Whereas in Poland, it's like amateurs, exactly the same rules, like same round length, you get 3-minute rounds still. The only difference is you get elbow pads, shin guards, and sometimes you get headier, sometimes you don't. But that's the only rule. I mean, everything else is the same. So I remember it was like no weight classes on that as well. So the girl I fought the first time, it was probably more like an inter-clubbish setting, but an actual fight.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was like 15, 16 kilos heavier than me, and she actually trained them for like 3 years. And I was like, fucking, let's go.
Oh dear.
And then She just kept clinching me. Every time she clinched me, I'd go all the way down to my knees and just get out and be like, fuck, how do I stop this?
Yeah.
Because I realized by that time I've never done clinch.
Right.
So I had no idea like how to keep my neck strong, nothing. So like I lost by decision. I went 3 rounds, but it was just like fucking spazzing down, spazzing.
Right. What was the thinking behind this fight? Was it just someone offered you a fight and you was like, yeah, fuck it? Or are you thinking fight? You're not thinking fight career at this point?
No, not at all. Because it's just like, it's a fight. I was like, cool.
So your coach
like,
didn't really look after you.
We're
Your coach is
sparring
supposed
every
to help.
week. It's going to be the same, isn't it?
Right, but your coach is like supposed to look after you, not put you in there with someone that much bigger, right?
My coach was like, such a legend. So,
what's his name? Name him, shame him.
His surname was Baron.
Uh-huh.
And he's a legend in the circles there. But
really?
he literally he's like, a guy came out of prison limping and died. There's a whole story to it, how he almost killed someone. Or
Maybe we'll get him
right?
on the podcast one day.
I don't know if he's still alive. I hope he is.
Well,
but
if someone can put us in touch, knows where he lives, or if he's dead, let us know.
Yeah, and he was like proper like Soviet Union coach. He'd come and like have a few shots of vodka for sure before training.
Oh, okay, I got you. The real
and then
deal.
like he'd show us their technique, and then just someone would say something stupid or make a sound, and he'd be like, "Shut the fuck up," and then go on like a 10-minute rant about Jews.
Oh. What, to take it? You're supposed to take it or not take it?
No, Jews. Like.
Oh, Jews. I thought you meant juice. Rant about Jews. Jesus Christ.
And then there was no way to stop him from having that run. You just had to like wait there patiently.
Just till he's finished. Let him finish, and then we can, start punching again.
Yeah, and it was like super old school.
And you got any Jews in the gym at this point, or no? There's no Jews in the gym.
I don't know.
But like, if they are, they just got to put up with it. They just got to stand
it's
there.
not like it's easy to spot them. they don't have a number tattoo.
I was going to say history might beg to differ, but yeah, I don't know.
I don't know, but yeah, I don't think they would train with.
Probably not coming to that. Yeah,
hearing all of that.
Probably not coming to that gym.
But yeah, he was a funny person. All the conditioning sessions give you like a 30-kilo kettlebell. If you can lift it or not, you have to lift it basically.
Just yeah.
You're just going for like an hour. And after that, sparring, like pads, everything sprints. One of them ones. So yeah, it was jokes. But that's how I started basically. So I trained for I don't know how long, and until I couldn't train, I had to take a break because something weird started happening with my brain. And like, I mean, a lot of weird things happened with my brain over years, but basically it was like a vertigo, but I couldn't stop it. In a way, there was nothing, like, whenever it started happening, like, I couldn't even tell you where was the floor, where was the ceiling, like, right and left. Like, I literally, at some point, I started getting dizzy even sitting down. And there was one day, like, I was just kind of trying to push through it, still train, still do my thing. And then one day, I couldn't even get out of bed. Like, everything was spinning. And I ended up, like, in hospital. I was hospitalized for like 3 weeks, maybe longer.
Oh wow, serious.
And it was to the point I was in wheelchair, and like I couldn't even move in a wheelchair for the first week or so. Like they did all sorts of tests. I was in like a neurological department. I had all the best doctors in that, and like they couldn't figure out what was wrong with me in a way. To the point that after all these weeks, after I started getting slightly better, they were like, they sent me a psychologist and psychiatrist, and they were like, yeah, basically you just tapped.
Oh wow.
And like it's funny enough, like. That was when I was finishing my art degree. So my first degree was fine art. And then because of like, I seen them fucking clueless. I was like, so you guys like the best neurosurgeons and you have no idea what's fucking going on? Like, I want to study this shit. So I ended up studying neuroscience after that. Because I was like, this is cool. So it's like, I want to study the most fucked up thing. The one that no one really knows what's going on.
No one figured it out yet. No, but
the most difficult thing possible.
During this time, you must be panicking, right? Are you thinking like, fuck, I'm brain dead. I've been punched.
No, I thought I was dying.
Right.
And the funny thing is, I was all this like, I was gangster and shit, fighting all these people, like, thinking I'm hard, yeah? And when all of this started happening and I'm like in hospital, like it seems to never end, I realized I'm fucking dying. And then I always thought like, if I was in that situation when you realize you have cancer or whatever, I'd just be like, no, I'll fight it to the death,
Mental
like,
strength and all that, yeah.
I was just like, fuck it, I'm dying, okay. I realized I gave up so quick. In my mind, I was like, rah, like, there's zero fight in me. I'm such a pussy.
Oh, wow, okay. All right.
That was like one of the first times when I was like very
And what ended up happening? What was the outcome of that?
So what ended up happening, like this just lasted for ages. I ended up having anorexia after that. I was like 45 kilos for about like 5 years. Around
5 years?
That mark, yeah.
Ooh.
And it got to the point that they literally told me I've got 3 months left to live if I don't start eating properly. And in my mind, like, it was tapped because I never believed I had it. Like, people were like, yeah, you fucking sick. Like even my professors at uni would come up to me and be like, are you okay? Like, do you have cancer or something? Like, do you want to talk? I'm like, no, I'm fine. I just want to lose some weight.
You're just skinny, yeah. Leave me the fuck alone.
Yeah, literally. And throughout that time, there's probably a period of like at least 2 years when I didn't train at all, like combat sports. I was still like lifting, doing cardio, all that boring shit, but I couldn't train. It was too much. And the psychiatrist they gave me, like at first, he put me on what was it, citalopram. It was like an antidepressant, anti-anxiety drug, because they were like, yeah, all of this is happening just because, you know, you've got depression, you've got anxiety. They just talked me into all of this. And because at that point I felt real shit physically and mentally as well, because imagine like you've got all these weird things happening to your body and there's no explanation, and then instead of just telling you, oh, this is what it is and this is how we treat it, they're like, no, you're just fucking crazy, here's a psychiatrist. So of course I got fucking anxiety. I left the hospital with anxiety. It's like I almost died, and they just told me you tapped instead of like telling me you're sick.
Yeah, you're just a crazy person.
So then they put me on the drugs, and I was on them for probably a year, and I swear down I don't remember anything. Like, I've got a brief idea of like, you know, I was in college, I was doing this, I was doing that, but I don't remember much. It was like I felt better for sure because I didn't feel anything. It was just completely like numbed down, zero. I remember the first time I took the pills, I was on the bus and it like kind of just, it kicked in. I was like, whoa, like I suddenly just felt this like rush of happiness for no reason. I was like, this is fucking great. They just gave me some illegal pills. I like that. But then, yeah, like they just kept increasing my dose, and like nothing was really changing for better. Because obviously with drugs like this, you're only treating the symptoms.
Right.
You're not really like actually treating whatever caused it. So it was just like patching up whatever was broken, and like it seemed it was an illusion that I felt better just because I was so numb. And I just spent an entire year like a zombie. And then I remember like, because in that time I moved to UK already, like I was homeless for some time. And the unis in Scotland rejected me because of some issue, something got lost in translation. So they thought like one of the modules I needed to have a certain mark, I had a lower mark than it actually was. In the end, they corrected it, and they offered me like to get on a course I wanted in the end, but I've already accepted offer from University Sussex in Brighton. So it's like at that point I've only ever been in Liverpool, and like I just heard like mad stories from all my Scottish friends about England, and like everyone here is a dickhead and this and that.
Oh, don't listen about England from a Scotsman.
Yeah, but I spent years
Jesus
there,
Christ,
like
yeah.
just listening to that, and I'm like, yeah, they're fucking this, they're fucking that. Yeah. So at that point like, I've only been to Liverpool, so I came down to Hastings. I stayed in Hastings for like 3 weeks. And then I had to move because my brother moved there from Aberdeen as well. Like it was weird that we both aligned. Like he moved from Aberdeen to Hastings, and I was moving from Edinburgh to Brighton.
Oh wow!
So I literally just got a lift with him, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm
Let's
down
go.
south,
Is your brother a
whatever.
fighter as well?
He used to do a bit of boxing and that, and like Muay Thai, but he never really fought. But yeah, so I ended up moving to Brighton myself, and I just had like a couple of house viewings booked, and like the first room I seen, I was like, yeah, I'll take it. And then I remember the day I moved to Brighton, I got off meds. And at that point I was on quite high dose because they kept increasing it. And then they were telling me like, remember, when you want to go off it, you have to just tap it down, like, you know, just decrease the dose gradually. It's going to take a few weeks. Me being me, I'm just like, fuck that. So I went
don't
cold
listen
turkey.
to that shit.
Bro, the withdrawal is crazy.
What is it? A physical withdrawal, like shaking and stuff?
Physical, mental. I think the physical symptoms make the mental ones worse.
Right.
Because it's like you literally feel like you're going crazy, like you're losing it. I felt like I couldn't be in small spaces because I was just tripping out, but I also couldn't be in like in big open spaces either. Like I felt weird being around people. I'd have like flashes of like hot and cold, like proper like menopausal thing.
Oh wow! And what age are you at this point?
I think that's how it feels. I was like 20, 21.
So you're a kid, really, right?
Yeah.
You're just a grown-up kid.
Yeah, literally. But I had no idea what was going on with me. And it lasted like at least 3 weeks. Wow. So that was kind of my smooth transition into living in a new place as well.
And what was the thinking of like cold turkey? Was it just a fuck, I can't be bothered?
Yeah, because I was just so fed up of being dependent on like big pharma.
Right.
Because I was always kind of against it. I was like, why was I on them drugs for like a year? And also I just kind of wanted like, I don't want to be on them. Like I know what they do and like I understand it. And obviously like that point I'm about to study neuroscience. I'm about to actually see how these meds fuck my brain. So like I didn't want to be on them. But yeah, like for 3-4 weeks, it was like the worst withdrawal I've ever had in my life.
Wow. And are you doing martial arts down there in Brighton? Or was you
Yeah,
Brighton or Hastings?
So Brighton. So at that point, it was still on my health break because I was still like fucking 45 kilos or so. And it wasn't until...
And sorry, just to stop you there, for context, you're not supposed to ask a lady how much she weighs, but you're a fighter, so you got to weigh in anyway.
I'm a fucking
What
big
weight?
fat girl like that.
What weight do you fight at? You fight at 61, right?
Well, I fight at 57.
57.
But a lot of my fights at 57 got moved to bantam on the day.
Right,
because
okay.
Either my opponents couldn't make it or it was catch weight. So I kind of fight between 57 and 61.
So it's a big difference
usually.
from 45, like, is what I'm getting
Yeah,
at.
100%. Like, I walk around like basically 20 kilos heavier right now.
Yeah.
So...
And
it's
still
definitely a big
slim, like,
difference.
you know what I mean? Still slim.
Thank you. You just...
Identified you,
You
as a
don't wanna catch
woman,
these
I told
hands,
you
innit?
you're slim. Hey, yo, we played a PC game round here, folks.
I love that. I should have it... Oh, yeah, we have it recorded. Okay.
Yeah. No, yeah. Fast forward to the end where we talk about conspiracies. Let's see how fucking crazy this gets. We'll see how far we go.
Jokes. But yeah, so like I think it wasn't until my second year of neuroscience where I started living with my best friend, and she's Greek. I've got a lot of Greek friends, a lot of Cypriot friends, and we ended up going to Greece for like a few months.
Right.
And like her parents have like a really nice house. They've got a nice mansion and like one of the islands as well. And basically, I wasn't allowed to step on a scale. Loads of good food, like just. You know, one of them fridges you open, there's like 3 fridges in the kitchen. You just open it.
Greek yogurt everywhere.
Yeah, and her mum cooked me like my favorite meals as well, like octopus, like breakfast, lunch, and dinner, like just good shit, you know. So like, I was like around 45 kilos when we left. I came back and I was like, all right, if I'm 60 kilos, I'm going back to training. Step on the scale, 60 and a half. I was like, all right.
Wow, mad
so
difference.
that's when I went back to my Thai at first.
So when you're 45 kilos, you're looking at the scale, I was like, yeah, that's good. I want to be 45 kilos.
It wasn't even like about the number. I just look at myself in the mirror and I'd be like, yeah, still fat.
Right.
And like, I remember the day when I came back, because I started having like serious health issues, even worse than before, you know. And like, my heart rate was like below 45 a minute.
Right.
Like, that's tapped. Like, that's
if you're not training,
annoying.
if you're not.
Yeah, like it was. I think it was a lot lower than. I think it was even lower than 40. I don't remember, but it was bad. And like, I had a lot of issues with my heart and shit. And the doctors were literally like, well, the max you're gonna get is like a few weeks up to three months. And that's when I was like, right, like, this is some serious shit. And they were like, you literally just have to start eating. And I'm like, why am I killing myself? So I remember that day I just took photos of myself because I was like, how are they telling me I'm too skinny? Like when I see a fat person. And then I still have the photos and I look at them like, bruv, that's just bones.
Yeah.
How could I look at myself in the mirror and see something else? But yeah, it's just like a trap you fall into, I think, you know? And then going straight from that into a sport where you have to make weight wasn't probably the healthiest choice, but
and getting punched and kicked in the head, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I know, right? But yeah, so that was my goal, to get up to 60 kilos and went back to training. So I went back my Thai, and I like started watching loads of MMA, and like at that point I still kind of believed that like wrestling and grappling is gay. I still think so.
Oh wow.
But at that point I thought like, how are you gonna take me down if I kick you in the face? That was
I've been there.
I
started as a boxer. I had exactly the same mindset, man. Like,
So
I don't need that shit. You ain't grabbing me, you know.
And so many fights, because I had a lot of people that did like wrestling, jiu-jitsu, and we'd like end up like, you know, hanging around like drinking and that, and then we just have like drunk matches, be like, oh yeah, like you can't submit me, and that, and
terrible
just,
idea.
Spazzing someone in someone's living room.
Yeah, not tapping when someone's got your arm. Yeah, I remember those days. Yeah, all that kind of
just
stuff.
to prove a point, innit?
Yeah, that won't work on me. If I can't lift your arm for 4 months.
Kind of miss those days.
Yeah, those were the good days, right, when nothing mattered.
Yeah.
But also when you're that young, things heal quick as well, don't they? You know.
You know what? There's something about it for sure. Yeah, you realize that once you hit the 30 mark, like.
It's okay because I'm still 21 because the camera's on. You know what
Come
I'm saying?
on.
I'm 21 when that camera's on. Don't worry about that.
I was never born. So.
Yeah, there you go. Alien from the penis. We've been there. Rewind it. We'll figure it out. But where did you train in Brighton? I know a little bit about Brighton because my mum lives in Eastbourne. I did my last 3 years of school in Eastbourne. So I got
really?
friends and stuff
That's
down
a
there.
shithole.
It's not the best place. It's why,
it's mostly just like retired
that's why I'm back in South London as soon as I finish school.
Retired people and nitties.
There you go.
It's easier to get cracked than weed.
Oh, maybe you know more than me. I don't know. But where are you training in Brighton?
So I trained with Kenny at Kenshiro Muay Thai.
Okay.
Like when I did just Muay Thai. And once I got into grappling, I trained with Yusuf Nabi Elements.
I've been to Element. I trained at Elements. We had, do you know Dominic Dillon?
Yeah,
been on the podcast. Shout out Dom.
Yes, Dom.
Yeah.
Me and Dom were like this. And
Yeah,
like,
he's cool. Great guy.
We used to coach together, and like he was my main training partner.
Oh, really?
Well.
All right.
Yeah, because like when I decided to like do MMA, like there wasn't that much MMA stuff going on ends. So me and Dom was just like main training partners.
Yeah,
and, like,
he's a
coaching
character,
each
and he's
other
got
and
like
stuff. I learned so
25
much
different
from
black
him.
belts, hasn't he?
Yeah, like no one's ever gonna kimura me just because of this guy, because this guy can kimura you from any angle.
Well, it's funny, when I did his class, that's exactly what he was teaching me. Kimura, so.
Why am I not surprised?
There you go.
Dom.
There you go, shout out Dom and your Kimura traps. But yeah, he's an interesting cat. And was you fighting down there, or did you not wait? Did you wait till you come to London?
Was I fighting? Let me think. I don't even fucking remember. No, I think at that point, I was just doing a lot of like submission grappling shows.
Right.
Because I lived in Cyprus for like 3 years, and then I came back, and I was trying to like, I did MMA there, but it wasn't like a decent level MMA, let's say.
Well, you just turning up and having a fight, sort of training.
I had a wild fight as well, but that's another story. But it's not even on my topology because it wasn't sanctioned properly. It was like 2 minute rounds.
Didn't happen.
I don't think it's a secret because it is even on YouTube. It's bad. Don't look it up. Don't look.
Well, we got it now. We got to put the link down below.
Submitting myself in that fight. It was great.
All right.
But that's what made me be like, I actually have to do jiu-jitsu because this like I'll kick you in the face. You're not gonna take me down. It doesn't work.
All right. Yeah. Apparently not.
But then, like, I ended up after like 3 years that I came back, Brian. And I was like, yeah, I really want to get into MMA, but there wasn't really like MMA training going on there.
Right.
So, I was doing my Thai with Kenny a bit, and then all of the jiu-jitsu stuff at Elements, and then me and Dom started coaching MMA classes and stuff. But there wasn't like, when you coach, you can't really learn. Like I was learning from Dom a lot, obviously, but there wasn't like, you need other coaches, you need training partners. You can't really train the same when you're coaching at the same time. Like it's not the same. So it wasn't enough for me to fight. And then I kept saying I'm gonna come London, like, cause I had a lot of friends in like South London. I spent a lot of time in South London anyway. So everyone, like Dom told me, go and train, go Croydon, whatever. Like go, like you need to get yourself some decent MMA training. And I just kept like procrastinating and just doing jiu-jitsu because it was easy.
Right, because it's there.
And then if it wasn't for lockdown, I'd probably like procrastinate for another 10 years. But lockdown came and made me train more, basically. Like when everyone was like fucking shitting themselves at home, be like, no, I can't leave without a mask. I was like fucking banging out 5 sessions a day.
We should have been in touch then. Yeah, I was on that vibe too. I needed training partners,
I was like mashing up people in the gardens.
Yeah.
And then once you could actually like commute a little bit, like obviously Croydon, from all the places, they didn't give a fuck about lockdown and that. So everyone from all around London was there. So I had really good training partners. Like it was really good training. So I started commuting from Brighton to Croydon every day and just training there. And then I got to the point that like I realized my training in Brighton was less than my training in London. Mm-hmm. So instead of like commuting from Brighton, I'd rather go live in London and commute to Brighton if anything. But then in the end, it turned out that just most of my training was in London, so I stopped commuting to Brighton. For some time, I was still coaching there, so I would still go there. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it was just easy to fuck it off and
I hear
do most of the stuff here. And
I hear you.
Yeah, I stayed at New Wave in Croydon for I think a couple of years, and then it was after my pro debut that I realized that like I need more, because I was kind of like training 6 different gyms all around London, spending like fucking 6 hours commuting a day. You know how it is. It was just too much. So I realized being here is probably going to be better for me. And like I've never had female training partners as well. Right. So I knew how many girls they have here. I was like, fuck it, let me try. And obviously ever since I tried, I came for a week trial and stayed.
Now that's a good advert for GB Top Team if I've ever heard one. We planned that before, guys.
I'm not getting paid for this.
But so what's the situation when you come to GB Top Team and you're like, right, boom, I want to be a pro fighter.
No, I was already a pro fighter.
Right.
So I came off my pro debut because I had my last AMI fight, and then 3 weeks later I made my pro debut. I was like, fuck this.
How many amateur fights did you have first?
2.
Okay, so relatively short.
It was really hard for me to get fights.
Right.
There was like a period of, I think it was like 4 years when I couldn't get an MMA fight, I couldn't get a striking fight. It was so hard because it was also like the 3 years of lockdown in that 4 years.
Right.
So it was really hard. Like I kept getting fights, but they would get like cancelled or people would pull out. Like they'll be like in fight week, be like, oh no, actually I tested myself, I have corona. Like, why are you fucking testing yourself, you melt? Yeah. Like you probably had a little bit of cold, be like, oh, I did a COVID test, I can't fight. Like,
you'll be all right, walk it off.
Yeah. Or entire shows getting cancelled or like no notice as well. You know how it was back then.
Yeah, it was bad.
Flaky as fuck. And then as soon as the fights were a bit more like regular, I managed to get like 2 army fights back to back, and then I was just like, you know what, like I prefer the pro set anyways. Like I like elbows, I like longer rounds. Like I want to do heel hooks. Like I'm really shit with like sticking to the rules and remembering the rules and sticking to them. I still fucking throw ab kicks to ground the opponent probably every fight now.
That's all right. They should be legal anyway.
That's what I think, isn't it?
I
Right.
think so. Yeah, I think all the stuff. I personally think in MMA,
It's such a natural thing to
eye
do.
gouging, low blows, and biting. Other than that, go
Yeah.
for it. I personally think. I'll get some
True.
shit for that in the comments, but
True.
personally, that's what I think.
I know some people that would want even fucking groin strikes to be legal, but they into
I
some
can make an
weird
argument for
shit.
that too. I can make some argument for that too. I go, yeah, okay. Maybe not grabbing them, but
I don't know. I
I don't know why I did that with my hand, but like, you know what I'm saying?
It could
Maybe
be
not
quite
grabbing.
painful.
Yeah.
I've been on the receiving end of that sometimes, and
Yeah, we all
especially
have.
as
Yeah.
a woman, when the ref is just like, "You don't have balls, get up and fight."
Is that what they do? The ref's just like, yeah, come on.
I mean, in MMA it's okay. Like you still get your time, I think,
Yeah.
if they believe you. But I had some Muay Thai fights when it's just like you get knee to the point that you can't even see. Like the pain is bad. Like believe me or not, like it still fucking hurts. And then they're just like, get up, fight, or they'll fucking count you. I'm like, right, like.
Oh really? I got no
like
time
I
for it.
need
They're
a
like, come on.
breather. That fucking hurts. But yeah, they're just like, yeah, get up. So yeah, it's pretty bad. But yeah, so I think the transition to pro was pretty smooth. And
Right.
yeah, I lost my pro debut as well when like it was a split decision loss, and
They
like
don't even count.
it
man.
didn't really feel like a loss at the time. So it's not like I felt like defeated. And I was like, oh fuck, there's so much to work on. But I realized that I can make so many things better. And like coming here, I knew I will do better. And then you know I did. I went on a quite nice winning streak after joining here. So it was definitely the best decision I could make at this point in my career.
That's cool, man. And was it? How long was it into your pro career where you was just like a full-time fighter and you could just stop doing what?
Yeah,
else?
I was a full-time fighter back in the army as well.
Oh really? Just
Yeah,
made the commitment.
I
and
went
that was
full-time straight after uni. So as soon as I finished uni, like I didn't even know if I want to do this or not. And I was kind of like, I'll just do it for a year, full-time. Fuck knows how I'm gonna make money, but I'll survive somehow, and I'll see if after that year, like, you know, what's gonna happen. I don't want to have the regret of like if I was to like go straight into doing PhD or some other bullshit, fucking work in a lab.
Yeah, no one's got time
Then
for that,
I
right?
think for the rest of my life, I'd be like, I wonder what if.
And you can always do that
became
later
fighter.
anyway, right?
Exactly.
No, it's
so
not
it's like, you know,
age-related,
all of
is
these
it?
people doing the gap years and that.
Yeah.
I just did like a gap year fighting, and then that was a very long time ago. It's probably been like 9 years now.
There you go, gap decade, we'll call
yeah,
it. We'll be all right. It's all good. It's all
I'm close to that.
It's all
at this
fine,
point.
you know what I mean? It's all good. But when
Literally.
you go back, just briefly, you said about coaching, you didn't want to coach because of your own training and whatnot. Do you feel like coaching helps your training at all? If you're coaching other people?
Yeah,
you do?
100%. Especially at some point when I started in the beginning of my career, it really forced me to get into like the technical bits of it, you know, and like and I really enjoyed coaching. It's not like I didn't like it. I loved it. It was just kind of lack of time. Once I moved here, I really had like a tunnel vision of I just want to focus on my career. Like I don't want to be restricted by like having to be certain times, certain places. Especially there was like all the gyms that I have to commute to, and like, yeah, it just felt like a bit of a trap. Like, so I got rid of that. But I'm slowly getting back to coaching and like doing a bit more like private sessions and that.
That's
like
cool.
I like it, but it's like I'd rather do that once I'm done with my career. Like I don't mind. Like with privates and that, it's a bit more flexible because you can always book it whenever you actually have time. Whereas with classes, you gotta be there no matter how you feel, no matter what you got going on, whether you're in camp or out of camp. It's like, yeah, I like my freedom.
That's what makes it hard, I think. Like you said, coaching the classes where there's a set time, like fucking 6:30 on a Tuesday every time.
And also, there's so many people better at coaching than me. They're actually a lot more technical. So I'm just like, just let those better people teach you.
Well, some people have that path and they just want to be a coach as well, don't they?
Yeah.
And like they make a big. When I was in Berlin recently, shout out to the Berlin Massive at BJJ Dojo. But the guys out there had different mindsets. Some were full-time fighters and whatever. But one of the guys out there, Alex Fuchs, I always fuck his name out. That's why I hesitated and I was going to try and gloss over it. But I've mentioned him. Shout out.
Sounds
Alex.
German enough.
Shout out Alex. Well, he's actually Portuguese. He lives in Germany.
Oh, shit.
There you go. But there's a story. Watch the podcast, guys. There's a story behind the name. It's not his real name. I don't know. Don't shoot the messenger. But his path he looks at as a coach. He competes at a good level. He's black belt, long time, all that kind of stuff in jiu-jitsu. But he wants to be a coach. And the thing, he kept hurting my feelings because he's 31. And he kept going, because I'm getting a bit older now. I was like, bro, you got to stop with that shit. Like, you're not old. I'm not having that. I can't have that. But he was like, yeah, but you lose your prime, whatever. Anyway, his path was to be a coach. And obviously, you're not in that mindset. You want to be the fighter.
I mean, I don't mind doing that once I'm done fighting. But I definitely prefer fighting and coaching.
Yeah. Have you got a timeline in your career, like an age that you want to be out, or not so much?
Not really. I just don't want to retire before I get rich.
That's
That would be stupid.
There you go. It'd be stupid, yeah. Nah, I don't want that expensive fight. Fuck that. I'll chill. I'll be good. I'll hold pads for.
Because then I'll have to be one of them grandmas on OnlyFans and
showing pictures of your feet for the fucking fans. Yeah. Nah, that's a sad ending. Yeah. Ebony Bridges, you know that girl, Ebony Bridges, the
Is
boxer.
one of the porn stars or something.
I don't know what she's doing, but she was like, I think she won a version of a world title in boxing. But she's like, you know, pretty girl, Australian. Yeah. She's got like, I don't know, she looks like she's had about 17 boob jobs, and she's
17 boob jobs.
But she's like, I think she's gone down the OnlyFans route because she doesn't seem to fight anymore. So I think she's like OnlyFans.
But was she actually fighter? And then
yeah, she was world champion boxer.
It's kind of like Paige Van Zandt.
Exactly.
But she was actually better than Paige.
Oh, shots fired, Paige. You're gonna have this.
I mean, there's levels to this.
Or is this you angling for a fight with Paige?
When was the last good fight of Paige you've seen?
Well, the last I heard of her, she was doing that slap fighting stuff.
I said fight, and I said good fight as well.
I said the last I'd seen of her, I didn't call it a fight. Hey, she did a bare knuckle one as well, I believe, with that the other Rachel, whatever her name, Ostovich.
She paid bare money for that as well.
There you go. Can't blame her, right?
That's the thing, you know, like. This is what you do. Would you go where the money is, or do you go where it's legacy and actual respect?
I think you start off with legacy, but then I think some fighters realise they're not going to get it.
You realise you shit.
I think they realise they're not going to make it.
Okay, boom, boobs.
There you go. Well, Mike Perry's a great example. He's not pulling his boobs out, but he's found what he's great at, right? Like, if you watch him in MMA, he's a good fighter. He's in the UFC.
But at least he's got a personality.
He's lunatic. Paige. Not afraid to say. We'll try and get him on the podcast. He'll ruffle some feathers. That motherfucker don't care. But like, if you see him in bare knuckle, he's a savage in bare knuckle. Yeah. You know what I mean? He's found his thing.
Like, he loves to scrap. You know, he's a real fighter.
Would you ever do bare knuckle?
I almost did in lockdown.
Oh.
Because I just wanted to fight. I was at that point where I was just like, I was scrapping in Sainsbury's, fucking throwing grandmas into pasta shelves.
Yeah, probably deserved it. What'd they say first, bro?
So like, someone offered me a bare knuckle fight.
Yeah.
And I remember at the time I was still in New Wave, and I spoke with Colin. Shout out Colin.
Shout out Colin from
and
New Wave.
He was like, bro, you don't want to do it before you actually even start your MMA career properly.
Yeah.
It's like, why would you fuck up your wrists and that, like break your hands?
No.
And I was like, yeah, but like I just want to fight. And I was like, yeah, don't do it. So he kind of like talked me out of it, and it's probably for the best.
Probably for the best. Do you know Cyrus Raffi?
Yeah.
Pasha, he's here, right? He's here. Yeah. I had him on the podcast actually. Shout out Cyrus, great guy. But I when I did it was on like a Tuesday or something with him, and on the Saturday he'd had a bare knuckle fight before, and his hands were wrapped up. Like I went to shake his hand, and he was like, I can't shake your hand, you know, because it's like all. That's what I think is the thing with bare knuckle.
You can win, you can dominate the fight and still fuck your shit up.
I think it's the hands is the big one too, right?
It takes so long to fucking recover.
A broken hand, shit, man.
I'm not good here if I don't train. So
yeah, I hate
if I have to stay out, like it's not really worth it.
No.
You know?
Yeah, it's like all these people that go skiing and stuff. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. People ask me about, have you ever been skiing? No,
same. I'm like, my balance is like -10.
Well, listen, you know what it's like. If you get injured here on the mats, it's a pain in the ass, but it comes with the territory. If I got injured on a fucking ski slope, I'd be like, bro.
It's just gay. It's like, how did you get hurt, like, as a fighter? It's like, oh, well, I fucking slipped skiing.
Yeah, I fell over skiing, bro.
I fucking skied into a tree.
There you go. Yeah, it's not for me. No, I'm not into. Everyone I know gets fucking injured too. Like, you know, that's not for me.
If I was coordinated and I trusted my balance, I'd probably be more into it.
Well, you can get coordinated, but if you still might hit a tree. Do you know what I mean? Them trees don't move too well. You know what I'm saying?
That's
you know,
knowing my lack.
That's it. I'm not doing that stuff. Nah. Yeah, as I say, everyone I go skiing, everyone I've ever spoke to goes skiing. Oh, it was great. I fucking tore my ACL. It's like, nah, that's not for me, son. You know, nah. But anyway,
there's no defense against trees.
No, exactly. Yeah, Paul De La Riva on the tree. See how it goes. See how it goes for you. Nah, not for me. But do you train in the gi at all? No.
I was gonna lie, but
I was gonna say you was thinking about a lie there.
Because sometimes I do, but the truth is I probably haven't in like a year at all.
Yeah, I hear that.
Because I love going down like London Grapple. It's probably my favorite like jiu-jitsu gym in London. Mm-hmm. Always great rounds. But I usually go down for like nogi and stuff. But there used to be a period of time when I'd go there on Thursdays and I'd just like bang out 3 sessions. And I remember it was like MMA striking with Matt Inman, sick coach as well. And then in between that and nogi was gi. And just because I wanted to like make the most of like being there, I'd do all 3. So I would actually do.
That's time to take a nap in the corner and recover for the second session.
Yeah, I was just kind of doing fucking and be like, oh, what's the difference between collar and a lapel? Yeah. Where does the collar end and lapel starts? Like,
yeah, I got you.
And the funny thing is that just like I don't really I don't really have any techniques in gi. I just do bullshit.
But you don't really need
so
it,
it'd
right?
be funny because I just fucking wrap the lapel like in some fucking bullshit way. But it's like people believe it. It's like, well, as soon as you pull it and you do something with it, they're like, oh shit, she knows what she's doing.
She's doing something mystical, yeah.
The whole time I don't fucking know.
Are you ranked in jiu-jitsu?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which belt are you at?
Brown.
Brown without a gi, so that's
Pull
good going.
belt.
Yeah, go for that. That's cool.
It's a lie though. It's a lie. So
Why?
I'm really a white belt.
No, about that.
Also,
I don't know about
I identify as a purple belt.
Is that right? Well, yes, if we're
Because
playing that,
purple's
I
the best
identify
colour.
as like, what's the one after black? Coral belt. That's what I identify as now, kids. So if you roll with me, watch out now. But like, if you're going through an MMA career, training in the gi is probably not the best thing for you anyway, right?
No, but the funny thing is, when I did compete in jiu-jitsu a lot, like before like actually going fully into MMA, I would always do gi as well. Just
Right.
because it like doubles your matches.
Yeah.
So I would do like nogi in a gi. And the funny thing is, I won more like gold medals in gi than nogi.
It's funny. I've heard that from other people.
Yeah,
that
and
do
I
stuff like
think
that.
it's because I still like, I was doing like basically nogi, like smash grappling,
Yeah.
but like in a gi.
Yeah.
And at that level, it wasn't like high fucking level. I wasn't going against black
Yeah.
belts,
No,
obviously.
right.
It was like blue belt level,
Yeah.
white belt level. So like I just smashed these girls because usually the people that are really good at gi, they're very technical, but they're like them skinny nerds.
Right.
I've never been to like a weight gym.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I guess.
I'm gonna get cancelled.
Yeah.
Not everyone, but a lot of them very good people. Like you'd look at them and like you would never know that they're actually fucking sick with what they're doing.
Yeah.
And obviously like nogi is a lot more physical. You'll get a lot more like wrestlers and MMA fighters. So it's a lot more like smash.
Yeah. Smash, yeah.
So if you like combine the styles, you know, like a lot of times the person that's if I get on top of you, you ain't getting up basically unless you do some freaky shit with your lapel. Like I'm just gonna win by smash.
Listen, you're preaching
And-
to the choir.
and
I think
that's what
exactly the same.
happened.
Yeah.
Obviously, eventually at some level,
Yeah, of
like
course.
purple app doesn't work no more.
No. Right.
You actually have to be technical
Yeah.
too.
But I tell you what I find with the gi, and I've said this on it before, is like when I don't train in the gi that much either. But like I find I enjoy it when I don't train in it much. I like it.
Have
It's
you
like
have you ever thought that you might be homosexual?
no.
Okay. just checking.
I was trying to think of something tricky to say then, and I was like, I'm going to shut this down real quick before this becomes a fucking subject. No.
No.
Absolutely not. Yeah, I don't want to talk about it. No. You've lost my train of thought, mate. Fuck's sake. Jesus Christ. I was talking about geese and stuff.
Okay, so
bro.
you said you enjoy being homosexual.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. Move on. Tell me about the flat earth. Fuck's sake.
So why do you like geese so much?
I enjoy the geese. I don't like geese so much. Don't fucking put words in my mouth. Listen.
wait, there's other things in your mouth.
I asked the question.
Okay, I'm done.
No, I enjoy the gi when I don't train it that much. Like when I train in it more than sort of, and I don't, because people that know me and train with me will go, shut up, you don't train more than twice a week in the gi. I don't. But if I do train in a week more than twice in a gi, I'm like, I'm bored. Whereas
Yeah,
no gi, I
yeah,
can
that.
train all day, every day. Do you know what I'm saying? Like if I
yeah,
put the
that.
gi on every now and then and I just jump in for some sparring,
Yeah.
I like it because
But
it's
that's
like
the thing. Whenever I do gi, I have so much fun.
Right.
Like fuck knows what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Nothing good for sure. Like I always see like Rose Nichols and London Grapper just looking at me. What the fuck is this? Walking away,
like jiu-jitsu, bro. Jiu-jitsu.
just chatting bare shit, like just doing madness. You know what I mean? But I have a lot of fun.
Well, I used to train with a guy. I don't know his name. If anyone knows him, he used to come. He wasn't at New School, but he used to come to Open Mat sometimes. He was a real character. I think he was like a purple belt when I was a white belt. This is like way back, but he used to fuck around. He used to do mad stuff, and he'd catch some cool taps on people,
Yeah.
but he'd also get tapped a lot.
Yeah.
But he was just crazy. He'd like when he got tapped, he'd like celebrate like he just tapped them and like confuse people.
I love that.
So you know, like at the other end of the mat looks, and it makes it look like he's tapped the other guy out and shit. He was a real character. I can't remember the guy's name. I don't know if I knew his name anyway, but he was a character. So maybe that's a ploy we should
Oh, I
use.
love that. Yeah,
just,
why not?
just throw some mad shit in the gi and then just celebrate anyway.
Well, I'm a person who submits herself sometimes.
Explain that. You said before you submitted yourself in a fight. What was that
Yeah,
about?
because that was before I actually knew how to grapple.
What, you
all.
like tapped your own foot or what? What are you talking about?
No, so I got stuck in like a key and lock she had with her legs
Yep.
in a weird position, and then I tried to escape it, and then I kept escaping the wrong way, and I knew it was the wrong way because obviously you can feel fucking resistance when you're breaking your own arm. But I'm fucking stupid and stubborn, so I just kept doing that until I broke my arm.
Oh, it did
Like,
break. Oh, it was gone.
yeah.
Oh.
Like the surgeon said that it was like within 2 to 5% away from 100% surgery, because I tore my UCL and like fucked up all sorts of shit in there. So I was like literally on that margin of like this is not gonna get better anytime soon.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
it took a while for it to be better.
But no surgery. You got through it.
No.
No.
So with all the fucking injuries I've had over years, which is, I could write a book.
Yeah.
Because whenever I go to a new physio, like, you know, they give you that little box and like, oh, your previous injuries. I'm like, can I get extra paper?
I was going to say, give me a pad. Give me the whole pad.
Literally. But like with all of these injuries, I've never had a surgery for any of the injuries.
All right, so you're doing all right. You're doing well.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Like usually when I get injured, no matter how bad it is, and don't do it at home, I just get back to training ASAP.
Right.
So I'll still be like fully disabled, but I'll be in training. I'll be like, I'll just do, like, I've got a cast on my arm. I'm like boxing with one arm. Or like, I torn my MCL fully a few months ago and I went back training a week later and I was like, oh, I'll just try doing striking for a while. I just fucking wrapped it up super tight and I was like, oh, yeah, well, boxing first, though. I can kick a little bit and, oh, yeah, I can wrestle maybe. Like, 2 weeks later, I'm back in camp, you know what I mean? And like, I think staying active, right, and just like fucking immobilizing completely and like not moving at all definitely helps. But obviously the smarter thing would be to like ease yourself back into training. And I always focus a lot on rehab. I've got a really good physio. Shout out Yonata.
Who's the name?
Yonata.
Okay.
She's a physio here.
Okay.
My really good friend too. And she's like taking care of me, but also like I do all of the exercise. I think with physio, the exercise are the most important thing.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are lazy as fuck. They'll be happy to get a massage or like a hands-on treatment, but they do fuck all with it afterwards.
Yeah.
Whereas like that doesn't really help by itself. You actually have to take care of it yourself and do the exercises. So I'm like proper on it. As soon as I get injured, I'm back in like commercial gyms, just doing my rehab, you know, until it gets better. And I think that kind of prevents me from having to have surgeries. But once I'm done fighting, that's when I'm gonna have all of them. Probably I'll just be fixing this.
Yeah.
That,
How do you
like,
feel now,
always.
body-wise? Is your body still working nicely for you?
Fucked right now.
All right, okay,
like,
that's not the answer I was hoping for.
no, I've been badly injured since, well, basically most of 2024, and every single fight I had, I've been like seriously injured.
Because did you get an injury before when we were going to podcast before, right? Which is why it took so long. One of the reasons was
Yeah,
that.
I think
was that
so.
You had like, I think it might have been the MCL. Because
I've been really badly injured basically ever since June.
Right, because I had
One
Rory
after
on,
another.
Rory Lynn, you know Rory Lynn, right?
Yeah.
We was talking about it and he said like, you'd be a great guest and stuff. I said, yeah, we're talking, I think we was set to do one that week and then it like, whatever, it fell apart. But like,
standard.
right, yeah, it's not a one-way traffic.
I've had a lot of nasty injuries this year. And like every fight I've gone into, I've had 3 fights this last year. And so the first fight in Canada for the belt, I got food poisoning that almost fucking killed me. I had like fucking ambulance in my room the night before the fight, basically, and like I couldn't even like rehydrate properly.
Right.
And on top of that, getting into the cage, Brad
Pickett, one punch.
he just wanted to stare us down. But getting into the cage, I popped my knee. So I literally just squatted to get into the
same
cage.
fight,
I always
the
do
the
it.
food poisoning fight.
And my knee just went pop. And then straight away went like tight, you know, when someone
Yeah,
like,
you know when it's
fucked
bad,
in
don't
there.
you?
And I like on the stream you could see me doing this when I'm talking to the ref, and I was like, fuck it, because after what I've gone through, like with the food poisoning and the fucking ambulance and everything, like I was just like, bruv, I'm in the cage, I popped my knee, fucking had food poisoning, what else is gonna happen? I'm safe now. Like I just gotta fucking scrap. So that was the first one. Second one, Invicta, fucking injured too. And after that, like both of my arms started going numb and shit, and that kind of like still hasn't stopped.
Whoa.
It's pretty bad. And then obviously my last fight, I was fucking injured as fuck as well. But clearly I worried about the other injury. Because, you know, when you have so many injuries, like when I do my physio with Yonata, she's like, okay, so we've got 2 hours today, which is a lot of time, right? She's like, so there's not enough time for everything that's fucked in your body. So pick one. What's the worst?
Oh, man, that's not a good day, is it?
Yeah, and like I usually just would focus on whatever's hurting the most. But then, you know, other things like, oh, we'll deal with it after the fight. And she was kind of like, oh, you're not going to feel it in the fight. You know, you're not going to feel it in the fight. It's okay. Adrenaline's going to take care of it. But it wasn't like that.
It wasn't like that you felt. It's like if you're feeling it in a fight, to her point, like it must be bad,
Yeah,
right?
because obviously the fight before the last one, I had to pull out. I'll never fucking pull out unless like something terrible happens. And I was literally in the hospital. I had like knee bursitis, and it was so bad. I spent the whole camp training on it, and it was just getting worse and worse. And I'm in hospital, and they were like, "This is weird. Usually people that like 70 get it, and like there's no physio you can do. There's nothing you can take. Like no injections or shit. Like you literally just need to rest it." And because I spent a whole camp on it, it was just getting worse and worse. Right. And it got to the point that they were like, "We've never seen something like this." They were like, "It's severe and abnormal." I was like, okay. And they basically said I need 6 to 9 months of rest for it to get better. And they were like, we can't guarantee that it's not going to flare up again. It might like just keep flaring up. And what I did, I took a week off because I couldn't even walk. Like the pain was insane. no amount of weed helped with pain, I swear down. Like nothing, no amount of Henny helped it either. It was really bad. But then after a week, I went back to training. I was just like, I would just do my Thai and then just fucking wear like 3 knee pads and shit. And fucking 2 weeks later, I was back in camp for my last fight. And then the knee wasn't really much of an issue. It healed well, surprisingly.
Ooh.
But then my rotator cuff, my fucking other knee, my hamstring was popped completely. And like, I think I was the most worried about the hamstring. But everything was just kind of fucked. And I kept being like, we'll be fine, we'll be fine. I would just, in my head, I was like, this is the last fight of the year. After that, I'll take like 2 weeks off and I'll be like brand new after 2 weeks. But obviously the fight just made it worse. Like the injuries just fucked me up in that fight. And then I didn't even take 2 weeks off.
Well, injuries accumulate too, don't they? Because they upset your mechanics. You know, you got a bad foot, then that creeps into your knee and like, and then
but
your shoulder.
It's even like the muscle weakness that comes with it. Or,
Right.
Or like imagine you have an arm that goes numb, and then it just goes numb in the fight. You can't control it.
What was going on there? Is this a neck issue or what?
So who knows? It could be. My physio believes it's not, but
nobody knows.
it's
It's
been
all a
going on for
mystery.
ages. Like unless you do a scan,
Yeah.
which will cost you your entire fucking paycheck.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
You don't really know what exactly it is. And sometimes you will do an MRI and they'll be like, oh, it's really blurry, you can't tell.
Thanks, thanks for
I
that.
remember once I did an MRI for my knee and they were like, yeah, it's fucking blurry. So it's like, we think it's MCL, but it could also be ACL, but it could also be...
Could be anything. We don't know. Yeah. But But how are you now in terms of like looking forward to a new fight, or is your body saying I need a rest?
So it's a funny one because I feel like I've got 2 of my multiple personalities.
Okay, cool.
The most dominant ones, the 2 dominant ones, arguing with each other. One of them is trying to be like reasonable, smart, and be like, heal your injuries, take care of it. Don't make the same mistake you made in your last fight. You know, you shouldn't be fighting injured. Take your time, do your rehab, train smart, blah, blah, blah. Like, you know, like you want to be healthy in the next fight. Don't fucking fight injured no more. And the other one is like, oh, let's fucking throw hands. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go.
And it's funny because I had a conversation with Ash, my coach, like probably a few days ago, and I was like, yeah, I think I'm just gonna be smart. I'm not gonna fight injured this year. I'm not gonna cut loads as well. I'd rather just fight the weight cut will get up and not cut than go through the fucking horrible weight cuts because my body's shutting down as well. Like it's just my body's fucked basically. And he was like, yeah, you finally like learned you're being smart. Fucking day later, I'm like, Ash, I really want to fight.
I'm ready. Ash, I'm ready. Put me in, coach.
It's like, fucking hell, here we go again.
But it's hard, isn't it? Because there's the balance act. Because you've got to be smart, but then if you want to get anywhere with it, I guess you got to.
But then I said to him, like, just find me jiu-jitsu matches. Like, I'll just go on jiu-jitsu shows because if I get fucked up in jiu-jitsu and I lose in jiu-jitsu, I don't care.
Right. But I think we need to work on your like positive self-talk because this is fucked. This is no good.
Yeah, but I'm just being realistic.
Nah, split personality. Let's go the other side.
That's some LGBTQ shit.
I don't know about none of that. I don't know about none of that. You throw that on me today.
You gotta be realistic. You gotta be real with yourself.
You're not flowing with the like what's the word I'm looking for? Law of attraction. You're not going with the old speak it into existence.
Just because I tell myself I'm gonna get rich doesn't mean that like my rent's
what
gonna
are you talking about? You're ruining my fucking you're ruining my flex here. What the fuck
are you
about?
one of them hipster people that are just like, oh yeah, I'll manifest fortune, fame?
Obviously. Okay. No, of course not. No. But like, I think.
Was it one of your edible
stories?
I was
going to say, I've been upset today. You've upset me today. No, but you know what I'm saying? Like, in terms of it's fucked, your knee hurts. Or, yeah, my knee hurts, but it'll get better. Do you see where I'm coming from? I know I'm kind of splitting hairs.
I'm not being negative about it.
Sounds like you're being a bit negative, I've got to be honest.
If I was negative, I wouldn't be going back to training a week later being like, fuck it, let's go. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no,
but I'm being real with myself. I'm like,
so when's your next fight?
Well, apparently I'm not allowed to be a short notice fighter no more. So
ever.
Otherwise,
allowed.
I'd be like, maybe tomorrow.
Right. Oh, are you one of them that jumps in quick and all that business normally?
I used to be.
Yeah. Okay. I used to
but
be.
Not anymore.
Right. I got you. So what's the plans for this year? 2 fights? No fights? 5 fights?
I don't know. Like, the major plan is to be healthy. To be healthy, to be smart. I'm still toying with the idea of going up a weight class. And literally just not cutting because bantamweight I can make like this.
Right.
It literally feels like nothing. And I can sleep. You know, I come into weigh-ins fucking happy, chatting shit, recovered. My last weight cut, the water cut. So I was on 1,000 calories or around 1,000 calories a day for like 3-4 weeks whilst
that's
training
not
like 3 to 5 times a day, like intense training.
That's not good.
And my body weight was the same as when I'm fucking drinking Henny every day and eating fucking yard food and doing whatever I want, you know what I mean? So it's like, how does it make sense?
Yeah.
Obviously, I looked a bit different, I looked leaner. Scale shows the same thing. And obviously, when it comes to making weight, like, who gives a fuck about your body composition or if you're healthy or not? Like, what matters is the number on the scale.
Yeah.
So it's just like my body's shutting down. And then when it came to water cut, it's weird because I can make bantamweight within like 30 minutes probably, boom, like that. But then from then to 59 is an easy cut. It's okay. Like 59 is probably the weight class I would be if we had a 59. I would be so happy there because it's like in between. But from 59 to 58 is long. From 58 to 57, it's like I'll spend an hour in a fucking bath and I'll drop 100 grams.
Yeah.
Just literally to the point it got. So I spent 27 hours cutting water weight with maybe like 3 hours break just to pretend I'm sleeping. You can't even sleep when you're that dehydrated.
No, and for anyone who doesn't know, when you say cutting weight, like this isn't losing it. So you're going to be the weight you're at for not very long, right? And as soon as you start drinking,
it's just dehydrating yourself, just making yourself a fucking raisin.
Just before you go
for
in
like
and have
10
a fight,
seconds, you know. But it was a bad cut just because my body was still sweating, but it was so slow. Like Ash was joking that like if we had another 5 hours, we would have definitely made it. I was like, bruv, I've already done 27. Like,
yeah, you don't want them 5 hours. You feel like death, right?
Yeah. So then it's that kind of like dilemma of like I'm a bit too small for bantamweight. It's way too hard for me to be a flyweight. There's no 59.
Yeah.
So what do I do? And
fight a bantamweight.
I had a lot of fights at bantamweight and being undersized because it's either girls not making weight and then calling you when you're already like fucking 58, being like, oh yeah, actually I'm like 62. Like, it has to be bantamweight, or asking for catch weight. Like I love catch weights. 59, honestly, that's my best size. But even 58. But it's just from 58 down. It's the last couple pounds. It's so fucking tough, man. Yeah. And it's like I recover well. Like I recover really well from those cuts. It's not like I mush up from it and like it affects the fight. But it's just like, why put your body through all of this?
Yeah, can't be good in the long term, can it?
I'm like maybe, and I look at fighters like Nathaniel, right?
Nathaniel Wood.
Yeah, he used to cut to bantamweight and he was killing himself. Like when you look at the photos like from his weight cuts, he was already so fucking lean and still had so much.
There's that famous photo of him online, isn't it, with the veins everywhere.
Yeah, it's insane, And now he's obviously a featherweight and he's going to be a lot smaller than a lot of these guys, but he's happy, healthy, and like at what point like your skills are going to show still, and at what point like the size advantage might fuck you up still.
Do you know what I think on that as well? Is like when people look back on their career, I think you'd regret more losing too much weight. Do you see where I'm coming from in terms of like getting in there and feeling like you didn't give it your everything because you weren't you? Whereas if you go in there and you're a bit small, if you're 100%.
I think it might be a bit easier for men because there's just so many more like weight classes.
And I think it's easier for a man's body to cut weight as well.
That also, but even that aside, like men have more weight classes.
Yeah.
Yeah. For women, you only have 3 realistically.
Yeah.
Like if we think UFC, because obviously every serious pro fighter is probably gonna aim to be in UFC at some point, right? So you've got strawweight, flyweight, bantamweight. That's it. So if you don't
featherweight's kind of a made-up division, isn't it? It's not real because
it doesn't exist in UFC no more.
Bantamweights that like fight.
There's no featherweight.
Is
in
it
UFC
gone
no
completely?
more. It's gone.
It's gone. But even when it was there, it was like bantamweights just fighting at featherweight, really. For the most part.
Not really. I think the atomweights and featherweights are really fucked.
Okay.
Because atomweights are always going to be undersized, even though you see this Chinese girl that like had the head kick knockout. She was way smaller. She's actually an atomweight, but she still knocked out a bigger, taller girl. So it's not always like that. But still, there's no atomweight division for all the little girls.
No.
And there's a lot of them. There's a lot of talent in atomweight division. We've got at least two atom girls in the
Which
gym.
is 115, right?
Yeah. It's like 48 kilos, midget weight.
Yeah.
But then also 145. Like there's so many talented. We've got Iman, for example, at 145, and she is so fucking good. And there's so many talented girls at that weight. And like, if it wasn't for like Bellator PFL, there's no way they can really fight realistically. Yeah. Like maybe UAE Warriors and that, but like UFC doesn't have a weight class for them. And there's so many girls that are even bigger than that. Because Iman's last opponent that she was meant to fight on Bellator in London, like she was hospitalized in coma for months because she was trying to cut to featherweight, but she's so tall and just she's not fat. she's just a tall girl,
Yeah.
and she really struggles. Like she usually fights like 155 or even more than that.
Really, yeah.
So cutting to 145 literally almost killed her.
Yeah.
And imagine UFC doesn't even have that division.
Yeah.
She would have to cut to 135, which is what Kayla Harrison's doing, for example.
And she's
It's
huge.
like, do you think she would be cutting to bantamweight if they had featherweight? Of
Well,
course not.
didn't she fight previously? She fought at 155, didn't she? I don't think she'd even
Yeah.
fought at 45.
She's a big girl, man.
Yeah.
It's like she has to do madness to make 135, and she's got a really good nutritionist. I work with the same nutritionist, so
Oh, really?
he's legit. But there's so much work that has to go into you making
Yeah.
that weight,
Yeah.
and it's only because there's literally no other weight class. There's nothing high up. And like, who said that? Like women, 61 is like, oh yeah, that's it. If you're bigger than that, what about fucking Gabby Garcia? Look at the size of that bitch.
She might have you said about a good nutrition. She might have a good chemist, that girl. I mean, I don't know what the fuck that's about, but
That's true.
she's in a division of her own.
But look at like Clarissa Shields.
Clarissa Shields
Like,
is an example.
Loads of girls.
But she's
that-
coming down in weight now, isn't she? Clarissa Shields is fighting like in boxing. I think she started. Well, I mean, that's a bad example because I think she just won the heavyweight belt. But she's been down low. She got down. I think at one point she was like a trim 154, and I think she was talking about fighting at 147. Like I think
but
she can
we're
make
still
it.
talking 140 plus.
Oh, of course, yeah. And
Whereas,
that's a big
like,
woman though. Like I mean, if you're
them few pounds make a huge difference.
They do. They make a huge
Trust
difference.
me.
And I don't think people realise how much of a difference it is when you're in that kind of shape. When you're
For
in
real,
peak condition,
for
there's a
real,
big
for
difference,
real.
you know?
And then, you know, like you always, it almost like it gives you eating disorders and like
Yeah.
body dysmorphia.
I think Kat
'Cause-
Zingano spoke about it a lot, didn't she? Do you remember the
Yeah.
photo of her with the big fat face when she was like off of, I shouldn't say big fat face, but she did have a big fat face in the picture. And it's like, you know.
But even girls like Megan Anderson,
Yeah.
she's so tall
Yeah,
and
she
she's
is,
like
yeah.
well built as
Yeah,
well.
yeah, yeah.
Again, she's not fat, but it's just like for her to even cut to 145, struggle.
Yeah.
And like you have to because there's no other weight classes.
Yeah.
It's like it's almost like fucking sexist. Like guys are allowed to be fucking heavy, but women is like no, you have to be small, but not too small because we don't have atom weights.
Yeah. Don't be crazy with how small you get, but 61 will do you. You stay at 61, yeah.
Like I believe it needs a lot of changes. Like the weight class for women need a lot of changes.
What would you have? What weight classes would you have for women?
I want 59. I want 59. That's my division.
59 kilos,
I'll
that
be
is for anyone.
undefeated at 59.
Is that right? 59
Yeah,
champ?
yeah, 100%.
Which is what's that? 130, right? I think it's
130,
130 pounds.
yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah,
you,
yeah.
I mean, I guess for women you could probably go what 120, 125, 30, 35, 45, 55.
Yeah, I think it should be like every 5 pounds.
Yeah,
So
until you get a bit bigger though, right? Like that's why I said
Yeah.
35 to 45 is
Yeah,
probably
and then you
enough.
can do 10 pounds after
55,
that.
yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Percentage of your body, but I think
Yeah.
5
Have you
pounds.
ever seen female heavyweight MMA?
Yes, I have.
Oh
Not
my
pretty
God.
exciting. Not pretty exciting. Not the most exciting thing I've ever watched.
Bruv, it is exciting because it's like they'll be throwing.
They will
And
be
it's-
throwing. For
Everything is
10
jiggling.
seconds, 10 seconds that it lasted, it was great, yeah. Then after that...
I love it, but like you watching, it's like someone's gonna die.
Someone gonna die. But there's some women out there, like I don't know if you're much of a boxing fan. Do you remember back in the day, Anne Wolf,
Oh,
the
yeah.
boxer? Like, she
Yeah,
was
yeah,
problem,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
She was,
that's-
I think
that's
she fought at
true.
168, but she probably cut to that, and she was built, and it was like, you know, she was putting
Yeah.
people to sleep. So, I think the problem is it's like a men's division over 265. There's just not that many talented people over there, and what you'll end up getting is big people that
Yeah,
don't
but
move
is
well.
it because there's no division for them?
Could be that too. It could be
Because
that
once
too.
you actually create a division, you
Yeah.
create talent too.
Yeah, it's true. That's true.
'Cause
I just think that
a
the
lot
concern.
of the 145ers would go up, for
Yeah.
example.
Yeah,
a
that's
lot of the
too small.
135s
That's
would
too-
go up to 145,
Yeah.
and so on and so forth, you know?
But I guess the argument would be where'd you stop? Because would you have like
Yeah.
you can't have you can, but there's not much call for a 185-pound division for women, right?
I'd watch that shit.
You'd watch it, but there's not that many.
100%.
You'd have the same two women fighting each other all the time. Do you know what I'm saying? There'd be like 16 and 15 against each other or something. Do you see where I'm coming from?
Some of them be scary, man. Like,
Well, it's true. If you build it like Gabby Garcia, go, well, I got some friends, we'll fight. You know what I'm saying? I know some big women, you know, but. Yeah,
That's
I'd watch
true.
it. Like I'm gonna watch any fighting. Like to me,
Yeah.
like the argument back in the day was Demetrius Johnson's too small. And shout out Brad Pickett, he beat him. There you go. But,
did you know he beat him?
well, everyone knows now. But yeah, but like obviously a lot of people say he's the greatest of all time, and a lot of people wasn't into his fights. But it never bothered me. I always liked it. But
Yeah.
what is that? Do you think is that a casual thing? Like people just don't watch it because they're small and they look up and they go, oh,
I don't think so, because like the men's flyweight division is super exciting.
yeah,
Like when you actually look at it, like okay, maybe you won't have as many knockouts as heavyweights, obviously it's power difference, but it's so fucking scrappy and technical.
yeah. No, I think so.
And-
But I think a lot of people don't watch it because they just go, They're small.
No, I don't think so.
No?
I don't think so. People that actually watch fighting,
Yeah.
like they know that this is where the most exciting fights are.
No, they do. But if you're some donut in a pub on a Saturday night, oh, I want to watch
Yeah,
the
but who
heavyweights.
gives a fuck about them nitties?
Pay-per-view, son. Pay-per-views.
They'll still pay.
Yeah, well.
They'll still pay, even just to see fucking Mackenzie Dern's ass. Like, they'll still pay. Trust me.
It's interesting you said Mackenzie Dern. I'd have gone elsewhere with that one. But Mackenzie Dern, fair enough. There you go. We see what flavour
Hey,
you
that
like.
brings pay-per-views, trust me.
Is that right? Woo! There's the famous weigh-in photo recently that everyone's going wild about. And like, not that I'm being, whatever, but I look at it and I go,
I know, right? That sometimes feel gay, too.
I go, yeah. I think I can think of some better looking women that fought in the UFC.
Fair enough.
We mentioned one earlier. She's no longer fighting. She's slapping people now.
Oh, Paige Mazan.
Come on, son.
That's why she's making money now.
Hey, come on, son. Who do you think you're dealing with, huh?
It's not always skills.
She got me into women's fighting. No.
True.
But if we go forward, like we sat down again 5-10 years time, and we speak like looking back on your career when it's over. Let's go 15 years because who knows how long it lasts, right? But 20
I'm gonna
years.
live that long.
20 years. We what are we doing here? We've laying bets on this 20 years, whatever. When it's done and you look back, what do you want to look back on and go, boom, I achieved that, and that.
Obviously, the UFC belts, that's number one. And just fucking getting out of the trenches and proving myself that I can do it. That's the main one. Just showing myself that it was worth it. Everything I'd done was worth it. And I've actually managed to get to where I wanted to get to. And like that everything actually did happen for a reason.
Boom, that was a good answer. Because you went straight away UFC belt. Like a lot of people I ask on here and they go, well, and it's like, bro, spit it out. But
You said 20 years. In 20 years, I'm definitely going to fucking have it.
You better have it by then, otherwise it's not coming.
Otherwise, fucking hell.
Yeah, as I said
have
before.
to do some time traveling shit.
Well, I was going to say, who knows what kind of stem
Buy
cells
myself
and
extra
voodoos.
time.
Exactly, but that brings me on because I was like, all this fight stuff's cool, but when I first met you today, it was like, let's talk about conspiracies, bro. Let's talk about
Here
conspiracies.
we go, that's the real
Here
talk
we go,
now.
this is what you came here for. Tell me, because you seem like you were going to jump on me and go, brrrr. So I'm just going to sit here and keep my little mouth shut and you tell me.
No, tell me, what's the freshest thing you
Moon
kind
landing.
of deeped? A what? Moon landing. That's not that
Moon
fresh.
landing. No, well, yeah, I mean,
Do
it's
you
only,
believe
it's
that or
only
not?
60 years ago.
Do you think they actually landed on the moon?
No.
Why do you not believe that?
Have you seen the videos of it?
Yeah.
There you go, son. What are we talking about here? What do you think?
I don't know. So,
I'll tell you, not to hijack your moment of
Yeah.
conspiracy, but here's what I think the moon one's the one I go, I don't think that happened. I think the Russians say they still can't get there now. And I go, they couldn't
Yeah,
even work
that's
out
one of
mobile
them.
phones back then, but they get to the moon.
for some reason, like the theory I'm most inclined to actually believe in is that they did land, but it wasn't pretty, and
Right.
they didn't like all of the video, the standard fucking old school video of them like the fucking flag and then in the shadows and
Yeah, yeah.
this fucking
That's
like
a fake
imaginary
video for
wind
sure.
and all that. 100%.
100% fake video.
I think that's been. There's someone said that it possibly was filmed in like a submarine underwater because
Well, some have said it was in a
create
Hollywood
similar-
studio and stuff as well.
Yeah, something like, but you can create like similar conditions.
Is that
sort of
right?
shit, yeah, like on the moon, whatever. But so yeah, I think they did land.
Oh, you do think
But maybe they didn't even fucking get out of the fucking space shuttle thing.
Right, yeah,
And
yeah.
like,
Okay, I hear you.
whatever happened there, whatever they've seen there,
Yeah.
like there was some dodgy shit, so they
Yeah.
just had to fucking fake the whole video.
Yeah.
But I think they did
You
land.
do, yeah. I mean, when I say I don't think they did, the answer is no, I don't. But at the same time, I'm not like, no, they didn't land because
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I don't
I
think
think
so.
the truth is always somewhere in between.
Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm a bit like, I
or
don't think so.
Maybe they even, they actually landed, got out, filmed the video, and they were fucking, they're not like videographers. Maybe they fucked it up, and
Yeah.
then they came back, be like, right, we need to fucking
I
fake
hear
it now.
you.
Like, who
I hear
knows,
you.
But it's just, I don't know. I feel like one day he's gonna come out. Maybe Trump is gonna be a president now, and he said he's gonna expose a lot of fucking.
Yeah, I think they got to wait for.
classified files.
I think they want to wait for them all to die, right? Anyone that was involved, they're gone.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Let them go.
They do that thing. They
Do
do
you know what I'm
that
saying? Because
thing.
then it's
I
not
forgot.
impacting anyone. No one's losing money. No one's got lawsuit.
That's true.
It's all
That's
gone.
true. Yeah, and to be honest, like right now, there's other things they worry about, like the drones, for example.
Yep. There you go. We come on to aliens. That's subject number 4. Flat Earth.
Yeah. So there was a theory that those drones are basically just looking for like a lost nuke. And in my head, I'm like, how the fuck do you lose a nuclear weapon? Like, you just go like, oh shit, I lost it. Like, what the fuck? But apparently, America's lost bear. And like one of them's been missing for 7 years, for example.
But how?
It's like,
How does that work?
that's my question.
It was here a minute ago, Larry. I don't know what I did with it.
You go for a walk with
Yeah.
a fucking little nuke. And
Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh shit! I actually
I'm
left
sure
it
I
somewhere
left
in
it
the park.
here.
Like,
Yeah. What?
I don't understand how
No.
you can lose it. But so that was one of the theories that they're looking for it. But then that's kind of like been proved wrong. And also like those drones are not regular drones. It's like you can't see them on the radar. You can't really intercept them. They move way too quick. They kind of like appear, disappear. I don't know if you've seen them videos.
Yeah.
It's like it's thousands of them, like all over states, and they just come out and then dun, 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 sort of thing. It's like the fuck is going on in there? Like, I don't think it's aliens. Let's say that straight up, because I'm more inclined to believe that it's more like a blue beam project. Do you know what that is?
No, what's the Blue Beam Project?
So there was this dude, I forgot his fucking name, but it was like 1940s, and he came out with this theory that the government at some point will basically activate what's called the Blue Beam Project, which is he's going to make people believe that the aliens are coming, they're trying to take over,
Right.
in order to scare people into creating one government.
So like a fear-mongering, we all have to listen and stay
Because
away.
like, you know, back in the day, what worked is saying, yeah, God, and like, let's
Right.
create all these laws because, you know, like God is going to fuck you up. And that worked. Now people are questioning that. A lot of people, you know, atheists and like the God thing doesn't work on like a lot of the population anymore. And also it wouldn't work in terms of creating a new government as well.
Right.
But aliens, different story. You look like a regular fucking Joe and you tell them, like, you convince them, like, look at the drones, fucking aliens are coming, this and that, we all need to get together, create one government.
Yep, I can stomach that. I can take that. What would you call
That's
it? Blue
Beam Project.
Blue Beam Project. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
there's a lot more to it if you actually get into it.
Well,
It's
yeah,
pretty
that's
interesting.
cool.
But it's crazy that a guy in like 1950, like, he already thought this is what they're gonna do, and there's basically gonna be like a global scale psyop.
Right.
And like,
And here we are.
I'm willing to believe, and also like, how the fuck? Like, obviously, the only person who ever spoke anything about it, given any sort of answer, was Trump. And he was like, the answer he gave is almost like he knows a lot more than what he said, but he's just not allowed to say much.
Right.
But them saying that the government doesn't know what the drones are, it's like, the fuck?
Yeah.
It's like,
strange.
oh, it might be Chinese spies.
Yep.
Like, why do they always blame China for everything?
China and Russia. That's their favourite two go-tos, isn't it?
Literally.
It's not China, it's Russia.
Where it's like, bro, how nobody has answers? And then, like, as soon as the fucking, like, drones came through, like, everyone's kind of like, yeah, fuck, like, it's been around for, like, a while now. Fog. Have you seen that fog? The
What
fog
fog?
that was all over UK
Uh-huh.
and, like, Europe, States as well. Like, it was like I think it was over Christmas, just after Christmas. It was like a really dense fog. Everywhere, and like it didn't seem like a normal fog. Like people were taking photos of it, and there was like weird particles in there and shit. And like they've been, obviously they've admitted they can create shit. Like I forgot what it's called. It's like some super something fog, whatever. But they admitted they can create it, and it's basically they've been testing it and like rolling it out and shit. And
But they've
this
had that
was
for years in
weird.
nightclubs, the foam effect. Right?
That's-
you never been out in
That's-
weird, into the
That's
early
not what
hours?
we're talking
No.
about. No, that's not smoke machines. Fuck's sake. No, but a lot of people had like issues. Like if you have asthma or anything, that fog would fuck you up basically.
Right.
And that's what it was. And it wasn't normal. It didn't behave in the normal way. Like it was way too
Behave in
dense.
a way. What do you mean? How the fuck does fog behave?
Because this fog is actually intelligent. That was the main
Intelligent
thing.
fog. Fuck. This is what I love about conspiracies. We're on to intelligent fog. I was going to talk about
Don't
flat
tell
Earth.
me you don't know that they can control weather.
Well, I was going
for
to talk about
example.
flat Earth, and now you're
No,
educating
fuck
me.
flat. Earth's not flat.
You're gonna-
let's
you're gonna-
move past it. Like we're not gonna talk about flat.
Oh,
Earth.
wow, the
Fucking
Earth's not
some
flat.
10th planet shit.
Oh,
All right,
no.
fucking Eddie, bro.
Oh, we got to debate this one. We got to debate this one. The Earth's not
But
flat.
they can definitely control the weather.
They can. They
Look
do
at-
it.
look
What
at
they call
Dubai.
it?
They've been doing that
That's
for
what I was going to
ages.
say. Yeah, seeding in it. What they call it, cloud seeding or something. But you told me about intelligent fog. Fog.
Yeah.
You got to enlighten me on the intelligent
No,
fog
for
because at the moment I
real.
just see fog.
Well, there's not much answers.
Okay.
But there's
Convenient.
a lot of questions. But yeah, definitely like.
What's
it
the
was
difference
weird.
between fog and intelligent fog? What does intelligent
Well,
fog
normal
do?
fog, you'll see it for fucking few hours or a day, and then it goes away.
And intelligent fog what? Stays
This
there
one
for a few
stayed,
days?
and it had like almost like a weird dust, like big particles in there. Like
Was you on an edible when this happened or what?
I'm always on edibles.
Well,
Doesn't
hey,
change anything.
hey, I think we might have got to the
So-
bottom of this one. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but when you're always high, it's like it's negating the effect of it in a way.
But maybe
Because
normal
then I
fog.
still experience the normal things normally, and then whenever like fucked up shit happens, like
Yeah, but how many
same.
milligrams are we dealing with here?
fucking milligrams. Who measures that shit?
Exactly. This is my point. We don't know. So
Yeah,
it's
we're just
like the fog's
microdosing
more
shit.
intelligent today, guys. Chill out. Everybody stay home.
Milligrams, man said. We're fucking heavy duty kilograms.
Oh dear. We're getting crazy. We're getting crazy with the kilos now. But okay, don't want to talk about flat Earth. What's the other one that was in my mind? Oh, 9/11.
Okay, so my question is, 9/11, like what reminded me of all of that 9/11 stuff is, you know, the Cybertruck that like exploded, like fucking, what?
No.
Where have you been living under the fucking rock in the last 2 weeks or so?
Probably.
There was this guy, like a Green Beret, Special Forces, blah,
Okay.
blah, blah, whatever. So he basically drove a fucking Cybertruck, you know, them things that are like fucking bulletproof and shit.
Yeah.
It's probably the worst car to fucking do a bombing in, but. So he drove it into like a Trump store somewhere in, what was it, in Vegas?
Okay.
I think? And basically like detonated like a bunch of fucking explosives, fireworks, everything at the back of the truck basically.
Right, okay.
But before he did that, he shot himself. There's a lot of weird shit going on. But so basically everything fucking burned out so bad that they couldn't even get any dental records of him or anything. They just managed to get a little bit of DNA from him and tried to compare it with his child. Eventually the child is not his apparently, so it's either the body didn't belong to him or the child doesn't belong to him. They don't really know, but it's all weird. But so imagine everything's burnt to dust. Like they can't even fucking identify the body. What do they find in the car? Passport.
Bit strange.
And it's just a little bit damaged, but you can clearly see it. Yeah. What else do they find in the car? Manifesto, not burnt. Yeah. Piece of paper fucking survives in the car where a body. it's just mad.
Too convenient.
Like,
it's
9/11, same story.
Okay.
Like everything's fucking burnt to dust, literally, like maximum fucking damage to everything. They find passports still. It's like when you look at all of these weird fucking events, like the guy who shot Trump, obviously had passport on him. So, bro, you're thinking of like fucking detonating yourself, like killing people, or fucking flying a plane into like fucking towers, or fucking killing people in general, and you're definitely going to have a passport on you. And nothing's going to happen. Like, passports are indestructible. Maybe they should make fucking planes out of passports.
So if someone shoots you, just hold your passport up and you'll be fine.
Like, how is it that the passport always survives? And the manifesto as well. I was like, number one, I'm going to kill all the people.
Yeah, written down perfect English,
Yeah.
But, well, I was going to gloss over flat Earth, but you've gone so deep on this one, I need to ask you about flat
Why
Earth.
do you even have a fucking manifesto? Why do you have bullet points on how you're going to fucking perform your fucking terror attack? It's like,
Because you've got to have that shit,
this
bro.
is so
You've got to show the
stupid.
media after.
It's like, come on, all of this is just a distraction. It must be.
See, this is why I love conspiracy theories, because I'm not really in them, and I just go, I pick a
Yeah.
side and just to annoy the other person, really. Do you know what I'm saying? But like, when someone else is passionate about it, I can sit and listen all day. So you know what I mean? Like, flat Earth, tell me, go,
I
go,
never say
flat
that.
Earth, go,
It's like
flat Earth, go, go.
There's no such thing as flat Earth. I'm a fucking scientist.
You're a ball theorist.
I didn't study
You
science
believe in
for
the
years
ball?
to tell you that there's a flat Earth.
Well, explain why it's not flat.
It's like, because the oceans would fall off the earth. If it was flat, and so would people.
That's a good enough answer for me. Must be round. Must be round, guys. You heard it here. There was one more that was on the tip of my tongue. Have you got a favourite conspiracy before we wrap that up?
I don't
Before
really
people
have
write
a
us off
favourite.
as a complete
I
Fruit Loop.
like all of them, but
Yeah.
I really like some of my favourite ones. I like the most fucking like intense ones, like, you know, Ancient Aliens.
Yes, now we're
I
talking.
love that, man.
Let's
I
go.
love that shit.
Let's
Because I'm
go.
like, you can't prove me either side of it. You can't prove against it, or you can't prove
That's
that
why
it's
conspiracies are
correct.
fun
I
to
love
start
it,
with,
but
yeah.
obviously I studied art and I studied science, so I've got like two different
you-
insights
yeah,
into
I got you.
merging it. And there's a lot of things, even in art, like the cave paintings and stuff. How the fuck are the paintings the same all over the world, and like the pyramids look the same all over the world? These people couldn't possibly communicate with each other back then. And then you have some fucking flying like saucers and shit in those little drawings and caves and shit, and like some stuff that looks like aliens, and them like alien looking people creature things, they're all the same. And how even the pyramids, like how the fuck were the pyramids built? Tell me, like, the most plausible fucking theory is the aliens actually came down and they were like, right, we're just gonna inject some fucking weird DNA into monkeys and make them into slaves, and they're gonna fucking like give us all the gold and all the minerals that Earth has that we run out of, and then we're just gonna use them to build all these fucking structures that they probably needed for whatever reason, maybe to worship the gods or whatever, you know?
And you believe
But
in ancient aliens?
I don't believe anything 100%, but I really like that theory.
You let me down here,
I
Kate.
really like
I
that
thought
theory.
you was going to marry the alien.
I really want to believe it.
I want to believe that one. There was that show, Ancient Aliens,
I
on
like
TV
it.
when I was a
And then
teenager, and that was like,
all
I
the
really want to believe it.
Anunnaki and
Yeah. God, high five.
shit.
High
Come
five.
on.
High five.
That's
Shout out the
definitely-
Anunnaki.
That's definitely my favorite, but because obviously like there's a big gap in like explaining how the fuck do we get so intelligent. I mean, so intelligent. A lot of people are still fucking dumb as shit and then function on like 2 brain cells left. But as a humankind in like general, like, you know, it was just some like fucking Neanderthal fucking creatures, like, and then all of a sudden it's like all of these inventions.
Yeah.
And like creativity as well, like creating art. It takes a lot to invent like a language and an art, and then, you know, they fucking fire, will, this and that. So it's like, it's obviously a lot of theories. Like, why do you think that happened? What caused the sudden like fucking brain development and the increased intelligence? Because it was like this, and then boom. What do you think caused it?
I don't know what I think, but one I like to listen to is the old stoned ape theory. You heard this one?
Yeah.
The
I
stoned
like
ape
that
theory
too.
where they found they stumbled
found-
across mushrooms and then they started.
That's, you know what, it's funny because like when I studied neuroscience, like even the lecturer told us about this theory. So it's a legit like
Really?
scientifically
That's a real, yeah, okay.
plausible theory. It is.
Yeah.
Because it would have spiked some sort of like different, because obviously you know the default network in your brain.
Yep.
So obviously it rewires certain things, it makes you think in different ways, it like inspires you to look at everything from completely different perspectives, and I think it might open up different things like in your mind. Obviously when you're so primitive, it doesn't take much to just like get that spark, and all of a sudden like it's just one high dude tripping and being like, I wonder if I just fucking invent a wheel, like it's gonna make our life so much easier, or if I do this and that, you know, at and like 2 and 2 and then you've got fucking 4, But that's one theory. Second one is that sudden increase in protein intake.
Yeah, but they also tie together, I think, as well, don't they? They say that the stoned ape theory like
That
gave us the
initiated-
creativeness to try fire and all kinds of stuff.
And it kind of links nicely. And obviously then you have aliens as well. They came
My
in.
personal favourite, I've got to be honest,
Because
my personal
there is,
favourite.
what's it called? I think it's like 1% of our DNA, like they can't really identify what it is. It's not like a...
Is that right?
Yeah, because with most of the organisms on Earth, like you can kind of just, it's all like, it's normal. 100% of DNA can be identified, can be decoded. And we have that 1% that's just like wild. And a lot of people are like, the fuck is this, you know? And like, maybe, because even when you look at it, like, our DNA, chimpanzee DNA, is 99% compatible, but there's this 1%.
It's not.
And it's like,
Yeah.
where the fuck did that come from and what is it?
Yeah, wow. See, that's what I like. This is why conspiracies are fun, because you know, like some people go too deep, and I've had people go flat Earth and dinosaurs, and they just fill you with ideas, and you know, when you go, you've took the fun out of it, bro. I don't believe any of this shit. Let's just have fun with it.
Yeah, well, to be honest, like you don't have to go so deep into conspiracy theories, because you don't even have to look for aliens like outside of Earth. Like, what the fuck is going on in our oceans? Like, we haven't really explored
now we're
the
talking,
oceans.
because this is like one of them ones where it's like borderline conspiracy or not, right? You go, that ain't really a conspiracy theory. The oceans are there, right? But
yeah, but I don't exactly know what the percentage of them has been explored.
I think we know less. Don't we know less about what's in our oceans than we do that's in our like Milky Way or something
Exactly,
crazy
which
like
is
that?
insane when you think about it. And like, you already like whatever you've already explored, there are some fucking crazy creatures there. Like
Octopus,
deep
they say,
sea.
DNA's all fucked up. They say octopus DNA
Also
is like.
so fucking intelligent as well.
Yeah.
Like, there are aliens. But imagine like if the deep oceans that we've explored are already fucked, and you already see some fucking dinosaur fucking looking creatures there that have literally like not been fucked with ever since the dinosaur age, for real. Like, if you go even deeper than that, what the fuck, like what else you gonna find in there?
Yeah, who knows?
Atlantis.
I'm not going there. I don't know. I'm never going to
Damn
know.
it, Atlantis.
Yeah, I'm not going there. You can find whatever you want. Come back and tell me about it. I'm not
But
going.
imagine them things fucking coming out at some point. And like the
It's
size
yeah.
have you ever seen pictures of some of the fucking creatures that they found in like...
Yeah, there's some
deep
mad
ocean?
stuff out there. There's like some weird like.
Right, but if that shit comes out, we all fucked.
Yeah, if you go deep enough.
It's
you're
gonna
fucked.
be fucking Jurassic Park all over.
Do you know what I'm saying? It will be, yeah. But I forget what I was going to say then about the. What was I going to say about the oceans? Anyway, it'll come to me. It doesn't matter. But there's when you hear about octopus DNA, they say that that's like kind of. I don't know what the word would be, like abnormal of this earth or whatever.
Yeah.
Like it seems like it's come from somewhere else. So
Yeah.
I guess they could be aliens, no?
Yeah, for real, they could be.
Yeah, real
They could
aliens.
be. We
Like-
definitely have aliens in the oceans. But like,
You said definitely.
100%, man. But is it really aliens? Because they are still.
They're here. They're born here, right?
Exactly.
So yes.
But we fucking crawled out of the ocean apparently too. So
Depends who you listen to. If you listen to a real
at
hardcore
some
Christian.
point it's their turn though. Like, once them things come out, we fucked.
Well, you know Bryce Mitchell, the
Yeah.
UFC fighter. Have you heard his theories on it?
No.
Oh wow, listen to him on the conspiracy
Is it?
theories. Oh, he goes like to another level, to the point where he says about 4 different things in 5 seconds. And you go,
I love that.
You've lost me. You've lost me. Elon Musk's a scumbag and this and that, and like the dinosaurs ain't real. Earth was created, and the Lord said in the Bible, and the Earth's flat. And you know when you go, Bryce, you need to take a break, bro.
I think a lot of things that might be hard to believe they were actually real. Like for example, giants.
Okay.
Like you fucking find them bones and shit. How are
Yeah.
you gonna disprove it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like what, did they fake the bones? And like all of these scientists are on it and they're just pretending to fucking do all these tests.
It's the devil's work, son. That's
And
what
like,
people say. It's the devil's work.
There's so much evidence, like even like early, like what's it called, like records of giants.
Right.
It's like
But it depends what constitutes a giant. Because if back in the day you come from one part,
if they were all midgets.
what is that? Like? if your people are all 4 foot tall.
Basically, the first time like white people found Jamaicans.
Well, hey, I was
like
thinking,
fucking hell.
I was going to relate. I was going to relate it to fighting. If you come from a family of flyweights and you bump into some heavyweights, then it's whatever, right? But
Yeah.
what constitutes a giant? And also things grow over time, right? If you go back thousands of years and I go, oh, Kate, I saw this guy. He was 7 foot
Then
tall.
how do you explain the bones? No, they found.
Oh, they've got like legit bones. This
Yeah.
is not.
Yeah.
I don't know. Are they real
And
bones?
then you have a fucking tibia like this.
Yeah, but is it a human? I don't know. I don't know.
Well, if
I
it's
don't
not
know.
a human, the fuck was that?
Bigfoot.
It was some creature.
Bigfoot. Really, just on to the next conspiracy. Bigfoot.
Do you believe in Bigfoot?
Well, so have you heard someone that believes in Bigfoot?
Yeah.
You're dealing with an interesting
Some of my
character.
American friends.
Oh,
swear
really?
by it.
Well,
They think they've seen it as well, but I'm just like,
I've run into some of these, but what do all these people, I'll ask you and then I'll tell you my experience, what do
Yeah.
they all have in common?
they were all high as fuck when that happened.
They all got socks and sandals on. All of them. Everyone to a man. They've all got socks and sandals on.
I think, you know how bears just like get up on 2 paws and they walk? That's probably what they seen.
Probably.
And they just like a little bit of weed, you know, like a little bit of this and that. You're fucking camping somewhere. You're already shitting yourself thinking there's like all sorts of animals in there. And then
Shadows.
you see a fucking bear.
Yeah. Shadows in the
That's
forest.
all it takes. And also there's enough tapped people, especially in States,
Yeah.
that will just put a fucking outfit and they'll pretend to be a fucking Sasquatch.
And have you ever been in a deep forest and like sort
Yeah,
of walking?
Unfortunately, yes.
Right. Now, I'm not much of a forest guy. I don't spend much time in the forest. But when you do, sometimes you go like that and you see things. And it looks like it's moving. It's just a fucking tree. It's because you're moving.
Yeah.
But there's all kinds of things. So
Yeah.
Bigfoot,
There's always like an eerie energy anyway.
you
so
can
it
keep
doesn't-
Bigfoot. Bigfoot's not for
doesn't
me.
take much. But yeah, I don't really believe in Bigfoot. If
No
that
Bigfoot?
exists, it would be already fucking hunted down. Like
They'd
them
have found
people,
it by
them
now.
people in States, they shoot everything that moves. So
And by now, I think they'd have found it by now. They've found some
Yeah.
mad shit. They'd find Bigfoot.
yeah, and also I think it would come out, or it would just go fucking extinct. or
Something had happened.
yeah.
It'd be on Facebook by now.
How about
right?
Nessie?
Nessie? Yeah. I mean, I was going to finish on a good one with Bigfoot that we both agree on. We'll segue back to fighting. But Nessie, whatever you want. Yes or no?
Absolutely fucking not. Have you ever been like? Have you even seen that lake?
No.
It's so fucking filthy. There's like, the fucking on the entire board of the lake is just trash. You see fridges.
Where is it? I know
TVs,
Scotland. Don't say Scotland. Don't Scotland.
Scotland.
Yeah. Which part of
But yeah,
Scotland is it in?
It's I don't actually know.
Right. Okay.
Somewhere deep
Somewhere
in
in
trenches.
Scotland,
Deep
yeah.
in trenches. But like, it's so dirty and filthy. Like honestly, everyone just goes and like whatever they need to get rid of, it's just like yeah,
Just throw it in.
dump it in the fucking lake. I don't even think they have fish in that lake. It's probably fucking radioactive by now. Like honestly, the amount of
Chernobyl. That's
fucking
another
trash.
one. Chernobyl.
It's probably worse than that. Honestly, there's no fucking way anything would survive in that lake. So that's a no.
Boom. So we've finished on 2 that we agree on. Bigfoot, Loch Ness Monster, nicht the point. So let's get back to fighting because there's a couple of fights I want to talk about before we wrap this shit up. The heavyweight division's the big one in the UFC, right? Because before it starts to come to fruition, I keep asking everyone, and people are
Yeah.
probably bored of me, but fuck it, it's my podcast, so we're going to talk about it. Tom Aspinall, John Jones, Alex Pereira. Floor is yours.
Oh, that's exciting. But I've heard John Jones ask for like fucking shitload of money, and he might use that as an excuse not to fight.
Do you think he doesn't want to fight?
I don't know. Like, he's a bit old and chubby. Like, have you really watched his last fight?
Against Stipe?
Yeah.
You don't think he looked good?
No.
Really? See, I thought he did look
He
good.
looked a bit tired.
Really?
He
Okay.
looked like, he looked like he just got off the fucking boat and he was there fucking smashing tequilas and eating burgers.
All right, I got
Like,
you.
I don't know. Like, He was against Stipe as well. Like,
Stipe's had his day for sure, really.
smoked
Stipe's.
him, really. But
Yeah, I hear you.
if he wants to fight, he will make sure that he's in top shape for this, for sure.
Yeah.
But then him asking for, I don't remember, I think he asked for like 6 million or something, man. But if you ask for 6 million, like, is it very realistic? Can UFC afford to pay that much?
They must do, right? Surely. How much they
think
pay
so?
McGregor? I know people are going to go, yeah, but he's not
Not that
generating that
much.
many pay-per-views. But
But Dana loves Jones as well, so
they'll pay that to get him, I think.
you think so?
I think so. I think he's probably
Well,
had more
if
than that
they
already.
pay him what he wants to get paid, then he'll fight.
Yeah.
And then, man, I want Tom to win. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think
I
he
think-
wins?
Yes.
Yes, you've gone for it. Yes. You think Tom will win?
Yes. And it was obviously it's heavyweight, so
Anything can happen there. Have you
Anything
spoke
can
to anyone
happen.
that's trained with Tom Aspinall or anything like that?
yeah.
See, I don't know what your experience is like. I've had on here, I had a stay at a Steve Henshaw from up there. He's a black belt under Tom
Yeah.
Aspinall's dad. And he's like, yo, this guy's unbelievable.
That's the
you know?
thing. People don't really know his full potential because
Yeah.
most of his fights don't really go to distance
No.
as well. But he's honestly genuinely fucking talented. He's like psychologically on it.
Yeah.
He's a sound guy, intelligent as well. You don't get many intelligent fighters.
What? You're going to upset some people with that one.
But no, I think he is just blessed, you know, and like
The right
The-
size too.
the
right
pressure ain't
heavyweight.
gonna get to him either, which is important. But obviously Jones.
Jones is great, right? Jones is one of them. See, this is what
This is why
I
it's
think.
one of those fights that is either gonna be a fucking sick fight that is gonna go to distance, and then fucking it's just gonna be whoever's gonna have better cardio, basically.
Yeah.
That's what it's gonna come down to, or someone's gonna get caught early.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised on this one, or any way it went. You know, if it was really
Yeah.
dominant one way or
Same,
the other, or
same.
close, or
And
points. It would-
I respect them both as fighters. I think they're both great, but it's just, man, Tom is.
We have to see this fight, I think, now because of this
Yeah.
time, right? John Jones ain't going to be around
Yeah.
forever, like you said. He's getting older, right? But
Yeah.
he's the greatest to me. Like when you watch his fight, it's like I know it's Stipe, and you can say what you want. He's getting older, but like the way he just deals with people, it's just like bro, every time he fights, you go, yeah, man, no one's going to beat him. But then
That's
Tom
true.
Aspinall keeps running people over, and you go, fuck, man, he might do that to Jones as well.
He should definitely get his shot.
Yeah.
Definitely before Jones retires.
That has to happen, that fight. And I think he will. I think John Jones, because
Yeah.
legacy
There's
matters
been-
to John,
They've
doesn't
been
it?
hyping it up too much. I think
Yeah.
they've just been building it up. Maybe that's the strategy, you know.
But I personally
as
think
much
for this
hype
one,
as
Dana would
possible.
pay John 50 million if that's what it takes. I think it's
You
that big.
reckon?
I think Dana will go, you know what, we got to see this one. Fuck it. Just, you know, let's fight this fucking
Well, I
fight.
just hope Tom is getting paid.
So,
too.
well, did you see the leaked messages where you got paid allegedly for step-aside money?
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah, like, hey.
I hope so.
And he said also, he was like, oh, I'd never do that again. So he's obviously not hurting for a pound note, right? He's like, fuck it, no, all right, you're good. But the other one, obviously, and this is the one I like, and I guess you could almost put him in the conspiracy theory side of things as well, is the Alex Pereira side of it. Do you think he gets up to heavyweight and
Did you
fight?
hear like the whole conspiracy about his coach being a Freemason and like the
Oh,
Illuminati
no.
being in it?
Oh, no.
That like yeah, that's another. We could talk about it for hours. But
We're going to have to do a part 2 on this one, guys. Fucking hell.
yeah, there's a lot of conspiracies on that as well. I watched like a
We'll do a fight-specific conspiracy.
I watched like a 50-minute YouTube video on
50?
Khalil,
50?
50
Oh, wow.
on Khalil Roundtree and like how he is in
Uh-huh.
Illuminati, and then they touched on like Alex Pereira and his coach and that. But especially with Khalil, like it's very interesting how he just came from nowhere, like just fucking boom. Like there's so much to it. Also being like sponsored by Prada, like.
Oh, wow. Is he sponsored
Yeah,
by Prada?
there's a lot of symbolism here as well. If you look at the logo of Alexis Pereira gym,
Wow.
there's a lot of like Freemasons, like
Is it?
yeah. And apparently in some interviews he openly admitted to be a part of it, and
Oh, wow.
yeah. So it's one of them things. And
Ooh.
then once you start deepening, you go, yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
And apparently there was something between like Khalil and Strickland that they had a beef over him being a part of Illuminati. Freemasons.
Yeah,
and
because
whatever,
Strickland
like-
don't give a fuck, right? Strickland will say it. Strickland's a wild boy. Yeah. But before we finish, what's next for you fight-wise?
Well, hopefully a good year with no injuries
Mm-hmm.
and smashing fucking people, snatching more belts.
Get into that
And then
UFC.
UFC. This is the year.
This year for UFC.
This is the year.
Boom. Nice. Well, I really appreciate you doing this, Kate.
Nice
This has been a
chat.
fun one. Before we finish, I always ask the most important question of the day, and this decides whether we stay friends or not. I don't know if you've seen any of these. What football team do you support?
Oh, I don't support any.
Chelsea, very good. Well done. I'll take that. Very good. Nice.
Definitely
Good answer. Always finish with a fist up like this, Kate. Squeeze the neck. Boom.